Welcome to the 2007 season debut of Friday Night Football. Tonight's live coverage is presented by Time Warner Cable and the Power of You, and by the Carlsbad Community Television Foundation, the CCTV, making local programming possible in the North County for more than 20 years. Live from Sweet Kirschmar Field, good evening, everyone. We're here on the campus of Carlsbad High School as tonight the defending CIF Division I champion Carlsbad Lancers hosts the 8th-ranked Cathedral Catholic Dons. We're just minutes away from kicking off another season of prep sports coverage here on Time Warner Cable Sports. And good evening, everyone. Along with Jack Cronin, I'm Craig Elston, together and again for another season under the Friday Night Lights. And Jack, we kick it off with a whale of a game, a meeting interleague of two unbeatens.
That's right. You can't ask for much more than a top 10 matchup for our first game of the season. Cathedral Catholic off to a great 3-0 start after a 6-6 season last year. And Carlsbad tonight, Greg, will put their 22-game unbeaten streak on the line.
And they're doing so, Jack, with a team offense that's a little bit nicked up and that's underwhelmed so far.
That's right, and Carlsbad will have to rely on David Cisneros. For Cathedral Catholic, the guy who's going to carry most of the load is Tyler Gaffney. He runs 60% of their plays out of that wing T offense for head coach Sean Doyle.
Tyler Gaffney is going to be up against a Carlsbad defense that is as rock solid as any, never mind San Diego County, in all of Southern California. But so far, Jack, in their first two games, the offense hasn't looked that good, and they've had some injury troubles.
That's right, and it's because of the injuries that they haven't really gotten on the same page. There's Cisneros right there, 185 yards on the ground. Nick Pasquarella, their talented fullback, out with a deep thigh bruise last week against Helix. Justin Morales, the senior quarterback, out in both ball games with a shoulder injury, so it's Cisneros who's going to carry most of the load.
Without Pasquarella, the offense struggled, but we saw Nick down on the field before the game. He says, I'm 100% ready to roll tonight. We'll see if those Lancers can roll through a tough Cathedral Catholic Dons team. We'll be back starting lineups in the kickoff next on Time Warner Cable Sports.
No, that doesn't work either. Can you just come out here, take a look at this thing?
Okay, I'll go right there.
Get customer service that lives where you do. Time Warner Cable, the power of you.
Should I be planning better for retirement?
Isn't it about time to renew my driver's license?
If I go back to school, can I get a student loan? Will Medicare cover tattoo removal? Can Social Security cover...
Relax, Tony. Go to firstgov.gov. They've got all the answers.
The answers to all your government questions are always right there.
Can we get some pancakes?
Just log on or email firstgov.gov.
The Carlsbad Lancers about to be introduced to a crowd hungry for a third straight CIF Division I title. Courtney Dwyer is standing by with more on these Carlsbad Lancers.
It's a tough task to stay on top and stay focused.
Carlsbad wins the Division I championship.
But that's what they've been able to do 2 years in a row, now trying to make it 3.
It's an unbelievable accomplishment for these young men. We have the highest ranking we've ever had, number 1 in San Diego County, 6 in the state, and 25 in the nation now.
Which is why the Cathedral Catholic Dons have had this matchup highlighted on their schedule.
You have a team that's won 22 straight games, are obviously the premier program in San Diego County, and you only get these opportunities a few times in life to go against the best and see what you can do.
We've been successful against them. Sean Doyle does a great job with the Dons, and I tell you, we just have to come out and play tough. They're a very well-disciplined, hard-hitting team. They're 3-0. They're ranked in the county, and so it's just another tough opponent for us.
They're going to be gunning for us because, you know, we shut them out last year and 2-time CIF champions, so every week we know that the team's going to come after us.
But despite any extra fire Cathedral Catholic may bring with them tonight, the Dons know exactly what this Lancer team is capable of.
Well, they're one of those teams that's just kind of like, hey, this is what we're running, see if you can stop us, man up. So this is all about us being tough and just taking them one-on-one and, I don't know, every play, not giving up the big play mainly.
A whale of a matchup, and one that we've been anticipating all week long. And Jack, this Cathedral Catholic team comes in on a roll.
#1 scoring offense and defense in the Eastern League right now, and undefeated after a 6-6 season last year. Great start this year for the Dons.
They are going to present a tough challenge on the ground to the Carlsbad Lancers, but the Lancers have taken on all comers so far and still come out on top.
Beat St. Augustine and Helix this year, 2 tough teams, and they did it with defense. Best scoring defense in the Avocado League. They're only giving up 6.5 points a game so far this year.
And certainly the top 10 currently responds by showing both of these teams highly ranked. Carlsbad, of course, #1, Cathedral Catholic 8. But, Jack, you were saying to me before the game, Carlsbad hasn't looked like a #1 team so far.
Well, right now they've been struggling. A lot of that has to do with the injuries on offense. But you know what you're going to get from Bob McAllister and the Lancers. Great defense, good field position, and a strong, tough team that's looking at 22 straight games without a loss. Until they lose, they're not going to lose that #1 spot in the rankings.
Another huge crowd. We've come to expect it. It is the 50th anniversary celebration of Carlsbad High School. As a matter of fact, tonight, Carlsbad Mayor Bud Lewis is going to be calling the Lancers' first offensive play. Memo to the mayor: lay off on the double, triple wide receiver reverse. Let Bob McAllister handle this, and I maybe recommend a toss sweep left to Pasquarella.
Not a bad call at all. There you see Sean Doyle, 12th-year head coach of the Cathedral Catholic Dons. He won a pair of CIF championships in the late 90s with Justin Green as his running back. He's had a great running back legacy here. And Green, Demetrius Sumler, and now Tyler Gaffney.
And a wing T offense, which is something that Carlsbad is going to have to show discipline in order to be able to handle. And Carlsbad's head coach Bob McAllister in his 14th year has certainly seen his share of wing T offenses. We're getting ready for the playing of our national anthem. And in just a moment, we'll bring that to you live on Time Warner Cable Sports in advance of Cathedral Catholic and Carlsbad tonight.
Carlsbad, the #1 team right now, as we've mentioned. The wins have come at the expense of 2 really good ball clubs. And I'm very interested to see tonight how Justin Morales responds, how Nick Pasquarella responds, missing time with those injuries, and how they look tonight getting on the same page with that entire offense.
The players are ready. And in a moment, our national anthem. Ready for football tonight. Carlsbad unbeaten in 22 games on their home turf tonight and looking to make a statement against Cathedral Catholic, a Division III school.
And a great crowd we have on hand here. Very hard to find a place to park here tonight in Carlsbad and around the high school campus as they get set for their home opener this year, their second game at home, I should say, the opener here against Cathedral Catholic, their Division III team, the #1 Division III team in all of San Diego right now, the #8 team in the county. A great matchup all across the board. And for Carlsbad, you're going to see more of that Ohio State-type team that play field position, great defense. Joey Searson is the leader of that defense. And for Cathedral Catholic, it's that wing T offense, more of a Navy-style offense. Run it with Tyler Gaffney, try and go run behind the big left tackle, Everett Benyard. Run smash-mouth football on both sides.
Real question tonight will be whether or not Cathedral Catholic will be able to get that ball around Joey Searson in the middle of the Carlsbad defense. If they can find a way to funnel the play away from Searson, they'll have a lot better luck, because I tell you what, with Searson backed up by Vince Ewan flying in there from free safety, this is a hard-hitting, physical Carlsbad defense. They're going to have the ball on offense to start things off tonight, as Cathedral Catholic will kick off. Dylan Porlis is going to be holding the ball for Brian Stahovich. And it's going to come down to Nick Pasquarella. Pasquarella finds a seam right away, barrels across the 30-yard line before he's brought down. And it's going to be at the 32 where the Lancers will set up. And is Morales going to make the start? He is going to consult with Bob McAllister on the sideline, pick up the play, and it'll be Justin Morales calling the signals, the senior for Carlsbad.
Well, good sign for Carlsbad that Nick Pasquarella looked pretty solid on that kickoff return there. Deep thigh bruise kept him out of the second half against Helix last week, a game that Carlsbad still won 14-10. And so now you're going to see him in the backfield with David Cisneros, who's taken the place of the graduated Antoine Dawson. Look for Michael Vandenkolk, number 4, split to the near side as their big play wide receiver.
Backup quarterback, also a guy who can run a streak pattern. Lancers known for their bruising running attack, and they're going to hand off to Pasquarella right away. And blowing up the middle and blowing up the play is Jordan Lance.
And Jordan Lance with a nice job penetration in the backfield right now. And Pasquarella's had a tough start to his season, 23 carries, 79 yards for a guy last year who had nearly 1,200 yards rushing and 16 touchdowns. The injuries kind of kept him from really getting off the start he wanted.
Also on the offense, tight end Wally So'oto, who plays both ways. He's the nose tackle and a great option for Morales when plays break down on the seam. Should be an interesting matchup when you're looking at Cathedral Catholic's defense. Keep your eye on the defensive line and number 11, Hal Hunter. He leads the Dons with 5 sacks, has a nose for the football. We've already seen Jordan Lance, part of a young defense that just returned 6 starters this year, Jack.
Yeah, averages nearly 6 tackles a ball game. Those 5 sacks. Just, a great job. They saw the penetration that first play. And if Carl's going to keep him out of the backfield, much more success.
So no gain. And Morales on a 3-step drop, fires it out to Vandenkolk, tries to make a man miss. He's going to have a short gain, setting up a makeable 3rd down for the Lancers.
Nice little out route there, Morales to Vandenkolk. You're going to see a lot of that tonight. Michael Vandenkolk comes into this ball game, the leading receiver on this team, and the only one who's cut a touchdown pass for Carlsbad this season. And this is a big play offense, but it's an inconsistent offense for Carlsbad. And they're going to have a decent time here if they can move the football down the field against Carlsbad early on.
Important for Carlsbad to stay out of 3rd and longs like we saw them against Helix last week. Of course, a very tough Highlanders defense. They're down at 3, and it's Pasquarella as a single setback this time. Morales is looking to throw. And there's So'oto springing open over the middle. He makes a man miss, barrels across the 45-yard line, and is into Don's territory with a 1st down.
6'1", 260. Wally So'oto can run over people there, and not a guy you want to see in the open field. Great patience and great protection on that play from Morales and the Carlsbad offensive line. And then So'oto finished off with a hammer hit. Now they go into Cathedral Catholic territory.
Morales came into the game 10 of 18 on the season for 143 yards and a touchdown pass of 61 yards to Michael Vandenkolk. Now an eye set, and it's Cisneros behind Pasquarella. Fake the handoff, roll out designed. Firing to So'oto. He's at the 1st down marker, retreats behind it. Penalty flag in the backfield, and Morales is given the look like it might be a late hit on him and a penalty against Cathedral.
Yeah, Morales went flying at the end of that play. Personal foul is going to go against the Dons.
So the pass gained 9, and then tack on 15 from there, and the Lancers are chopping their way right down the field.
Not something you want to do on the road, to give up those big personal foul 15-yard penalties. This ball's going to go from the 35 all the way down to the 20-yard line. And there it is. Late hits, and Dylan Porlis is the guilty party for Cathedral Catholic.
Well, that was So'oto getting wrestled down. It was Morales in the backfield getting the late hit way behind the play, and that's really what makes it worse. It brings the ball all the way into the 20-yard line of the Dons, where it's 1st and 10, and now Pasquarella with Cisneros on the left wing. In tight, Travis Miller. In motion, Cisneros. It's a pitch to Pasquarella with blockers in front. Pasquarella at the 10, darts outside into the end zone. He said he was going to have a big game tonight on his home field, and Pasquarella delivers a touchdown from 20 yards away.
Well, Nick Pasquarella with his second touchdown this season for the Carlsbad Lancers. Looked pretty easy, didn't it, Craig? Great lead blocking from David Cisneros there, coming off the right side. And you're having your tailback block for your fullback on that play. Great patience from Pasquarella to bounce it to the outside and find the pylon. Nice run.
And just like that, a 6-0 lead for Carlsbad. And after hearing a lot of questions all week long about, wait a second, where's that offense? Where's that big running game that we've been hearing from? We see it right there. Pasquarella healthy and delivering.
Second worst scoring offense coming into this ball game in the Avocado League, and they score on the very first possession.
Southpaw kicker Jose Hernandez boots it through. The senior has the extra point, and just like that, 7-0 Carlsbad. Take a second look at that touchdown, and Nick Pasquarella, tell you what, this was set up by motion and some great blocking downfield.
Watch the patience there. Cisneros took on 2 guys on that play. Great bounce work out to the outside for Pasquarella.
Vandenkolk with a downfield block that makes it from a 1st and goal into a touchdown. So that's great team blocking all the way around. David Cisneros is talking to Bob McAllister on the field right now about even improving that technique a little more. It's the fundamentals that have delivered a 20-0-2 record over the last 22 games.
2-time defending Division I champions. They've won 3 titles in 5 years. Craig, this is the second time this happened. This has happened to this Carlsbad program. The other time it happened for Swede Kirschmar, who the field is named after here in Carlsbad. It happened in the late 60s here for this program, and they've done it here under Bob McAllister.
So now the Dons will try and answer. They're put under the gun right away. And deep to receive, Dylan Porlis and also TJ Jacko. It'll be Hernandez doing the kicking for the Lancers. And a well-hit boot to Jacko, who retreats to catch it at the 4. Jacko gets mauled under right there. Hard-hitting Fabian Serrato, the senior reserve linebacker, to set up a 1st and 10, and that's only at the 20-yard line.
And we get our first look now at this talented Carlsbad defense. Gone is Brock Butler, the North County CIF and Avocado Player of the Year on the defensive side of the ball from a year ago. He's at UC Davis now. Gone is Spencer Hood, the other linebacker. And this is a team that's had to replace those guys. Big number 57, Joey Searson, is the main part of that defense in the middle.
Tyler Gaffney, number 25, he gets the first handoff and is snowed under right at the line of scrimmage. Tommy Clementi, the left end, leading the charge.
That's going to be a sign of things to come tonight for Cathedral Catholic. They run 60% of their plays to Tyler Gaffney out of the wing tee. You're going to see a pretty repetitive offense. It's the key to the wing tee is, can you mix it up with that triple option in the backfield?
Also ball control and eventually wearing down a defense, but that's hard to do against Carlsbad. They rotate in their second string, almost as talented as their first, a team that reloads. There's a handoff, misdirection, and going the other way is Jacko. TJ Torrance Jacko, the senior running back, is going to move the chains.
Jacko himself has 15 carries for 114 yards this season, averaging nearly 8 yards a carry, and you saw another big gain there from him.
He gains 10 on that play to set up a 1st down, and as we mentioned coming into the game, one of the big keys, this Carlsbad team loves to funnel everything into the middle of the field. Right there we see Jacko go around the wing.
Yep, getting outside, bouncing it nicely.
This one right up the middle, a handoff to Gaffney. Team tackling as about 6 members of the Purple Machine snow him under.
We talked about in the open this legacy that Sean Doyle has here at Cathedral Catholic. Justin Green, graduated in '99, was then the CIF all-time leading rusher. Demetrius Sumler broke his record in 2005, and Doyle thinks that Gaffney had a chance to do that. He had nearly 1,000 yards last year, and he has 360 plus this season already through 3 games. He's got a chance to do that, and this wing tee offense is just so focused on him.
A penalty flag somewhere down there, Jack. In fact, it's thrown real close to the Carlsbad sideline. Let's see if there's an explanation, and it is, in fact, a false start against Cathedral Catholic. So backing up that play and erasing the 3-yard gain for Gaffney.
Well, not good news for Cathedral. They're going to back him up 5 yards here, and what this is going to do, if they can't get anything going on the ground from such a long distance on 1st down, you're going to have to rely on Nick Russell, the quarterback. 8 of 15 this year, 53% passing for only 148 yards. He does have 2 touchdowns and a 111 passer rating, which is good enough for 3rd best in the North County. but they don't rely on him to do too much.
Mammoth bookend tackles in this offense. Here's Russell looking to throw. Got a man open downfield. Trying for the one-handed catch was Kyle Lokank, the tight end, the senior.
That's a big target, 6'5", 230, and that wasn't necessarily a bad pass from Nick Russell. That was a pretty good leading attempt for the senior quarterback of Cathedral Catholic.
It's not often you'll see it, but often you will see it early, trying to get safeties to respect that pass and not have Vince Ewing creeping up 5 yards from the line of scrimmage for every running play.
Now, if they can draw those safeties and keep them back and not have them drawn in, Theo's going to have a little bit more success running that football out of the wing tee.
So that sets up a 2nd down and 15, not the wing tee's favorite play. Handoff right up the middle, Gaffney. He's going to plow across the 30 to around the 31-yard line, and that sets up a 3rd and very long.
And that's the thing about the wing tee. Look how many purple jerseys converged on the football there. They had 10 of the 11 players on the field in the middle of the field, keyed on Gaffney in the run.
Taken down by 68, Steve Simpson.
Cathedral Catholic has brought a good number of folks along. The Eastern Del Mar Prep School.
Now they're in Carmel Valley. It's not that far a drive anymore up here to Carlsbad.
Now back straight to throw and moving and getting plowed down and sacked. Russell brought down and right there in the middle. It was Reed Spampanato.
Absolutely. Great name, great play.
I think it was Steven Simpson. I might have just read that wrong.
And Tommy Clementi is actually going to try and limp off the field here for Carlsbad.
Uh-oh. Clementi's down and couldn't make it off the field, Jack.
Boy, that's a defensive end for the Carlsbad Lancers. Tried to make it off there, but fell down. And I think it might, now you stop the play and you allow him to be attended to on the field.
Give that sack to Steven Simpson, by the way, as they attend, unfortunately, to Clementi, who has been an impact player already on defensive end, stepping in, as you mentioned. A lot of seniors leaving that defense last year, in particular Spencer Hood and Brock Butler.
Yeah, 12 starters lost altogether from last year's team.
Well, Clementi gets up and is going to be helped off. He certainly favoring the leg there.
Yeah, left ankle, it appears. Lose your starting defensive end. And as he gets helped off here, Craig, we get a chance to look at Brian Stahovich, the punter, who's already committed to go to San Diego State next year and play for the Aztecs. Saw him kick off. He's going to get a chance to punt here.
And back deep is Ewing. Make that Porter to collect it for the Lancers. And I'll say again, it's Cisneros. Cisneros on the run. He's got one man to beat. Spun around and thrown out at the 40-yard line by Brian Stahovich, the punter.
What a great first step off the catch from David Cisneros. He stepped into the coverage and past the coverage and was lightning quick to the far sideline. Stahovich makes a touchdown-saving tackle. He was the only guy down there, and not a bad job if you're the punter to make a tackle like that, but nice effort at David Cisneros. And if you're Bob McAllister, the thing you love the most is field position. Look where the Lancers get to start now at the 35-yard line of the Dons.
Cisneros caught that ball on the dead run, and that allowed him to break down the punt return defense. So now it's set up all the way into the 34-yard line of the Dons. 1st and 10 in the pitch to Pascarella. Nick dancing to his right. Gets a block from Cisneros, cuts inside a Vandenkolk block, and he's got 1st down yardage, a gain of 11 yards.
I like what Carlsbad is doing, reversing the roles for David Cisneros and Nick Pascarella, allowing Cisneros to get out there and try and block. He made a couple of quick hit blocks and then was downfield to make a nice block at the end of that run, trying to find somebody to get a hat on before Pascarella, again patient, just like the touchdown run, patient to the outside and the near side of the field.
1st down inside to the 21-yard line now. And Pascarella is off to a terrific start.
No, he looks so much more healthy, man. When you and I talked to him before the game, he said, look, I'm ready to go, guys. I'm 100%. None of this injury stuff anymore.
Marty Porter's now sharing the backfield with him. A couple of Dons jumped early. There was a mix-up. And Pascarella loses it again. The ball's still down, kicking around like the Keystone Cops. The Dons have it. Scooping it up was Patrick Quinn, the senior linebacker. Look what he found after about 5 bobbles. And that was a pure mix-up. Pascarella came in looking for the handoff, Jack. and it was pitched to him by Morales off his chest.
This is the second time that I've seen a high pitch from Justin Morales to Nick Pasquarella, and right now he has no clue where that ball is. It goes over his head. It's a bizarre play. And Cathedral Catholic, look at the penetration there again. They've got 4 or 5 defensive linemen already in the backfield able to jump on that ball.
So a quick turnaround, and now the wing tee back out there at the 34-yard line. It's a pitch to Gaffney with room to run on the left. He spins around to gain an extra 3 yards. A nice run by Tyler Gaffney to the 43.
Comes in averaging 120 yards a ball game and 6 touchdowns already this season. And the turnover negating the great return of Cisneros off the punt, gave Carlsbad great field position. Now it's Cathedral Catholic. Can they capitalize on the turnover?
They get a 9-yard gain on first down. And now it's Gaffney running right. Cutting inside, he's got the first down. Spins out of the first tackle try by Serrato. And once again, Gaffney leaning forward, Jack.
Yeah, nice job to pick up those extra yards and yards after contact, Craig. And that's, I mean, again, in this offense where you know what's coming, the defense knows exactly what you're going to run. Yards like that after contact are so key.
They know what you're running, just not where. There's a little misdirection. This time it's Jacko crushed. Hello, Vince Ewing.
Wow, it's hits like that that's going to get him a scholarship to play at Colorado next year, Craig. Already committed next year. 100 tackles last year. Big hit from the safety position.
He's not going to have to hear Dan Hawkins airing him out.
No. He's ready to play Division I football.
He knows this is Division I football. Second down. Fake the handoff. Russell looking to throw. Puts it up off the hands of Gaffney, who was wide open in the flat.
And again, not a terrible pass from Nick Russell. This is twice now that his receivers have had the ball in their hands, and they've gone through. Again, this is not necessarily his fault on these last 2 pass plays, but he is 0 for 2.
And that sets up the less manageable 3rd and 8.
And again, you may have to go to the pass here. Yes, there have been big plays here tonight for the Dons out of the wing tee. A couple of runs by either Jacko or Gaffney for more than 8 yards.
Now it's Gaffney, and Gaffney with a hole. He hurdles a man and finds the first down. Tremendous play, leaping over Travis Miller to gain first down yardage.
Great individual effort from Tyler Gaffney and a junior tailback with a leaping effort over Travis Miller. I don't know what the vertical is on this one, Craig. I mean, Miller's basically standing tall right there, standing upright.
He's lucky Ewing wasn't a step behind him, or else that would have been his last play of the game. Instead, it's a first down, and it's Gaffney running right, and Gaffney rumbling forward, and he's got another 9 yards on first down.
Okay, this is the big play wing tee right now. Cathedral's able to reel off 8, 9, 10-yard plays out of this right now. Not a good sign for the Carlsbad defense.
The Lancers getting knocked back a bit and a few hands on their hips right now as they look to the sideline for a little bit of help and direction. That was a gain of 8. And now the pitch to Gaffney, rumbling left. Gaffney with a head of steam and pushing Lancers defenders. And normally, Jack, it's the Lancers doing the pushing. On the bottom there and getting carried with the tackle is the safety, Jonathan Tapia.
And he also ran over Travis Miller there again. The safeties are having to come up safeties and corners to make plays on the big back in Tyler Gaffney. Gaffney at 6'1", 215, not a small guy.
Man in motion. Fake to Gaffney. Looking over the middle, and there's the pass completed. It's Kevin Bobrow, the senior wide receiver, 6'2", 180. He kneels on it right there at the 10-yard line.
Well, Bobrow has one of the 2 touchdown receptions this year for the Cathedral Catholic Dons in their first 3 ball games. And finally, a Don wide receiver comes up with a catch for Nick Russell. He's saying, hey, guys, come on, help me out here. It's a nice pass right in the middle of the zone. And all of a sudden, you got great position here at the 10.
Actually, at the 11, Gaffney plunging forward to about the 7 or 8 yard line as they continue to run right, and there's a reason for that, Jack. It's number 77, Everett Benyard. 6'7", 315, and just a junior.
Yeah, this kid couldn't play Pop Warner football because they said he was too big. He'd hurt the other players. They wouldn't let him play until his junior year. He's just too big, 6'7", 315.
They were right. Second down from the 7. This time Gaffney to the left, to the 4 yard line. Ewing's on top of the pile there. joined by reserve lineman Chase Wick. And it's 3rd down, and they can get to the 1 and get a first down.
It's going to be very close here. It seems the wing T is kind of slowed up a little bit here. Gaffney's being a little bit more patient. He's trying to find the holes behind the offensive line instead of breaking to the outside.
So called a 3rd and 2, and stuffed in the backfield is Jacko, and flying through to make the play. It's Jordan Garcia.
Yeah,
Garcia switched from 17 back to 11 tonight. He was wearing 17 the last 2 games. He's back in 11. It made him 6 digits faster.
Yeah, not bad. I mean, you saw how fast he got into the backfield there. And that's the kind of penetration. It was also a play action, too. A delayed handoff and a fake, and still Garcia able to get back there and make the tackle.
So Garcia comes up with a huge 3rd down play that's going to prevent a touchdown and force a field goal attempt. And Roman Ferreira is on. 5'6", 150, sopping wet. He's a junior.
And he's not attempted a field goal this year. Stahovic has the only field goal. It's a make for Cathedral this season.
22 yards out. It's a good plant, and looks like he drills it. So a field goal for the Dons, responding to the Lancers' touchdown. But Carlsbad has to be happy about how they respond with their backs to the goal line.
Happy and relieved, Craig. That's a big stand inside the 10, inside the 11-yard line for this Carlsbad defense that between the 20s was getting pushed back by huge gains on the running plays out of the wing T. Great defensive stand, and they preserved the lead by only allowing a field goal.
So as we get ready for the next kickoff, we want to say thanks again to the volunteer board members and advisors who serve on the Carlsbad Community Television Foundation. The foundation's a cooperative effort between the city of Carlsbad and Time Warner Cable. CCTV providing local television programming for the San Diego North County for over 20 years. So it's Pascarella deep to receive this kickoff. Cisneros is the up man.
Love that your 2 starting backs are returning kicks. Not enough teams do this at the college level, whatever. I love that these 2 guys are back there returning these kicks. We've already seen Cisneros with a great punt return today, and Pascarella with a great kick return.
The Lancers looked unstoppable in their first 2 possessions till they stopped themselves with a botched pitch and a fumble. Now their 3rd possession begins right in front of the goal line with Nick Pascarella. He sits behind the wedge, bangs around a bit, still on his feet, dropped at the 22-yard line.
Carlsbad back a little bit further here this time on this next possession. And as I said before, it was a high pitch on the first drive that Pascarella was able to handle. The last pitch, the one he fumbled, was not. It was actually right there, hit him in the basket. But as you said, may have thought there was a handoff coming, Craig, instead of the pitch. And Justin Morales has only played 2 halves of ball games this year. So Michael Vandenkolk has taken the rest of the snaps. Morales back out there to start this ball game.
Morales, you'll see before every play, he'll go to the sideline, he'll speak face-to-face to Bob McAllister, then bring that play into the huddle. This one starts with a an I formation and a 3-step drop for Morales. Swings it out to the left side. He's got his man complete for a short gain. Clock running there on the left sideline, and peeling out of that sideline with the ball was Jordan Bevilacqua.
His first reception of the year. A nice little out pattern. But still here. Gain of only 4 on first down. A nice little out pass. Morales, the lefty, having to turn to the far side and make that throw.
So a little short gain helps out the running game. Now with a single setback, Pascarella. Vandenkolk split wide. Cisneros, the man in motion pitch. Pascarella coming right. That hole's plugged up. Hal Hunter was the first to meet him, and Hunter helps to bring him down. 6'1", 215 senior, who's a beast on that defensive line.
Well, Carlsbad seemed to have gone the well too many times. That was the same play they've been running with great success, by the way, for the first part of this ballgame. It was kind of the play that was very similar one to which they scored the touchdown on to make it 7-0. So they go to the side here, and Cathedral finally to make a stop here on 2nd down.
And that's all about line blocking and penetration, as we see right here. And flying in the gap was Jordan Lance. That's another big play the sophomore's made. He certainly has good gap control.
Nice to team him with Hal Hunter on the defensive side of the ball for the Dons.
Back to live action at 3rd and 6, and a whistle before the snap can be made. And that's because the quarter is over. First quarter comes to an end. Lancers score 7, Carlsbad Catholic manages to counter with a 22-yard field goal for 3. 7-3 our score. We'll be back with this battle of unbeaten second quarter play next on Time Warner Cable Sports.
John says, I'm thinking about writing the story of my life.
Oh, I know. I got this one, Jimbo. John says he wants to write the story of his life. And then he says, this is going to be tough.
And then you say, yeah, Great Expectations has already been taken.
Every comic strip, video game, TV show, movie, and hit record begins with a writer. Writers, brought to you by the National Commission on Writing, which reminds you that writing is essential.
Our patient load is 2-10+5, including a critically ill infant going for cardiac surgery.
Captain Kippens has been a registered nurse for over 10 years, but she never imagined she'd be taking it to this level.
Whatever the situation, we're ready. I know being a flight nurse is a part-time job, but it's a full-time experience.
And it's one of many exciting careers in the Air Force Reserve. Air Force Reserve, above and beyond.
Back to live action. Second quarter about to get underway from Swede Kirschmar Field. 7-3 Carlsbad with a lead. It's a draw play to Pascarella, and Cathedral Catholic wasn't biting. They stuff it to force a Lancers punt.
Big third down stand for Cathedral Catholic, and now the punt, as you say, is going to come deep in Carlsbad territory. Great position for the Dons here off the punt.
In fact, the Dons stopped Pascarella for no gain on both second and third down after they gained 4 on a short pass. So that brings out the punting team, and that's Tommy Porter, 5'11", 160 junior, also a reserve wide receiver. And it's Novak deep for Cathedral. Make that Porlis. Dylan Porlis is waiting for it. All the way back to the 30-yard line. Good hang time, too, but Porlis makes a couple men miss. Now dances backwards and forwards again to the 43-yard line before he's finally taken down. And a good tackle made there by Cycler Miller, the senior reserve. But a tremendous run back from Dylan Porlis.
And not an easy thing to do when your momentum is carrying you back towards your own goal line. He makes the catch, takes the step and plants, and then gets out there for the juke moves, and does a nice job to get out to the 46, 47-yard line. It's a 16, 17-yard return on that play.
You saw that from Wes Welker on Sunday night, the old backward-forward play.
And start, go back, and then zoom forward on that play.
So back out Nick Russell to call the play. Will it be Gaffney right or Gaffney left?
That is the key for the Carlsbad defense, knowing where Tyler Gaffney is going, because he's hit them for long plays here today. 361 yards on the ground coming in, and also 55 yards receiving. The bulk of the offense, about 60% of the carries, about 50% of the total yards gained for the Don offense.
See if the Lancers can regain some of the lean at the line of scrimmage. Here's a handoff right up the middle, and Gaffney finds slow going. About halfway across that Carlsbad C, approaching the 50-yard line.
Short gain, first down. He went right up the gut. And you're right. Carlsbad knows, hey, this is the guy we're going to stop. This is the play that's coming. It's the wing D. It's not complicated. But if you don't get penetration, you don't get past big number 77, Everett Benyard, 6'7", 315. It's going to be tough going.
It's a long night for Steven Simpson. Now the play is Jacko running to the left. And Jacko, with the clock still running, gets across the 50-yard line and close to the 45.
And as we mentioned, it was really tough to find a place to marker coming up to Carlsbad. Huge crowd here. Second home game of the year, and just the third game overall for the #1 team in San Diego County.
A makeable third down and 4 here for the Dons. They're at the 48. Pitch, Gaffney coming left. Leaning for the first down marker. He might be stood up short.
I don't think he got it, Craig. I think this is going to be a stand for the Carlsbad defense. We'll see where the spot is.
Brady Eagle, senior, stepping in on the outside linebacker spot where Brock Butler and Spencer Hood were playing last year. Doing a nice job so far in early going. Fourth down, they're going to go for it and go right up with a no huddle to the line.
Aggressive call early for Sean Doyle.
Here's Gaffney. He's got the first down. Gang tackled short of the 40-yard line, but a good job by the Dons, and they run left that time behind Alex Crosswaite, who's almost as big, just a sophomore and 275 pounds, 6'4".
Need a huge line to run the wing T, and Carlsbad, Cathedral Catholic, I should say, certainly has that. And an aggressive play call, one in which Sean Doa says, hey, we've been having success here tonight. We've gotten 7-8 yards sometimes here. A 1-yard gain shouldn't be anything we should be afraid of. Let's go out there and get it.
Into the Carlsbad 41. Fake, looking to throw Russell. Loading up deep, he's got a man. He steps through Vandenkolk's tackle and is brought down. Once again, it's Parker Hip this time, reserve quarterback, a junior. Hip comes in from nowhere, running across, and he was wide open over the middle.
This is the second reception of the year for Parker Hip, but each one is gone for nearly 30 yards. Big time play, wide open, no coverage whatsoever from the Carlsbad secondary, and he's sitting right there in the middle. Nice job to roll out Russell, by the way, the near side, bring 2 blockers with him, roll him out, buy him some time, and he finds Parker Hip.
That's a 32-yard gain, and it leads to a Bob McAllister timeout. He wants the Lancers to button up here on goal line defense. Well, I tell you what, they hadn't thrown much. The Dons just 15 times in their first 3 games. We've already seen them drop back to pass, I believe, that many times, 5 times this game.
That's right, and now big completions down the field. A 32-yard gain is a huge pass play out of the wing T for a team like Cathedral Catholic. And Carlsbad did a great job on the goal line stand last time the Dons were this deep in their territory, forcing only a field goal. But they're going to be asked to do it again here after a big-time coverage letdown.
5 passing attempts per game, first 3 games. This game, 5 passing attempts in the first 15 minutes.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, this is much more here. Sean Doyle says we've set them up 3 games now. We've had great success winning our first 3 over Steel Canyon, Point Loma, and Mater Dei. Let's go out now and maybe use the pass a little bit more with Russell.
And a great play against an aggressive, fast, pursuing defense.
Which leaves gaps like the one we just saw on the 32-yard reception there. Russell's been starting for Cathedral for 3 years now. At this point in time, you should know the offense. You should be ready to make plays like that one right there. And he hasn't looked very bad at all this game. His passes have been on the mark. His receivers were dropping them early, and now they've been finding those passes late.
Well, this was almost like a Stan Van Gundy style timeout here. Just a chance to try and staunch the momentum for just a minute. With the move, there's Jacko cutting inside to the goal line. A touchdown for TJ Jacko. Great cutback run, and Cathedral Catholic has the lead.
Second touchdown of the year for Jacko on the ground, and a great cutback to the middle of the field. The number 8 team in San Diego County with the lead right now on a very nice 9-yard cutback run from Jacko.
That entire play swinging left, 3 men in motion to the left, Jack, and then Jacko takes the handoff. It looks like it's going left. He sees the over pursuit, cuts inside. A great touchdown from 9 yards out. The extra point is up and good, and it's a 10-7 lead now for Cathedral Catholic.
Well, nice job on that drive from the Dons and Sean Doyle. Cathedral calls the timeout. It doesn't work. It doesn't stop the momentum. They didn't get the stop on the goal line either. And now they find themselves behind here on their own field late in the first half.
So now the Lancers huddle up on offense. As the special teams unit comes out, they've got some questions to answer after carving through the Dons defense in their first drive and just marching down the field 68 yards in 5 plays to score. It's a fumble on their second possession, a 3-and-out the next time around. And now the Dons feel like momentum's on their sideline.
And this is the inconsistency that has only produced 17.5 points a game for Carlsbad this year. Pasquarella, as you pointed out, Craig, stopped twice for no gain on the last drive on 2nd and 3rd down for Carlsbad after they had their way on that first drive, scoring the touchdown easily.
You know, Jack, we expected to see Cathedral Catholic better coming off a 6-6 season last year. They've got to love how this game has started. They lost to Carlsbad 20-0 last year on their home field. This year they've come to the Lancers' home field and already put 10 points on the board. What an interesting kickoff. It dribbles to the end line, and that's where the receiver, Cisneros, stepped out of bounds. Oh my goodness. A terrible breakdown on special teams for Carlsbad, pins them deep in their own territory.
Well, he was trying to let the ball go out of bounds, Craig, trying to wait and see if that would happen. At the last second, he decided he had to grab it, and when he did, his foot was on the white line. Big break for the Dons, who have already put up their second score of the game. They've taken their first lead. They're on the road, and now their defense gets to go to work with the ball on the 7-yard line.
So a big-time mistake. Cisneros would love to make up for it with a big run here, as Morales brings his team out of the huddle. He's got Pascarella right behind him, and Cisneros winged to his left. Hand off, Pascarella up the middle, gets through an arm tackle. Now bursting up the left side. Pascarella cuts inside at the 40-yard line. He's brought down there by Hal Hunter. A huge run to get the Lancers out from the shadow of their goalpost.
Well, Pascarella had great blocking, but it's the key is the breaking tackles of Nick Pascarella, the senior fullback who powered through the line. Initial contact did not bring him down, and it's a huge 35-yard gain to bring them out of their own territory, really just close to midfield, and all of a sudden now you're back against the wall. Huge breathing room now for the Carlsbad Lancers.
Pascarella already had a 20-yard touchdown run, now a 35-yard scampers, his biggest of the game. We remember Nick's last performance on Time Warner Cable Sports, standing in this very spot in this press box when he ran for 6 touchdowns, Jack.
Yeah, 6 touchdowns, tied for the 8th best all-time mark in San Diego County history.
Van de Kolk open, and he gets hit as he tried to catch the ball. Good play by Joe Hallair, the senior defensive back, to break that ball up. Good timing.
And Cathedral had high-low coverage with the corner and the safety on Van den Kolk. They've seen the scouting reports. They've watched the film. They know that Van den Kolk is the big play wideout, and oftentimes he's the only guy who lines up to go out in a pattern for Carlsbad, so they key on him with both the corner and the safety.
This is all a matter of split seconds. Second earlier, it's pass interference.
Well, and you know what? Van den Kolk had a chance to get that ball, and he kind of knew it there right at the end.
Saw him slump his shoulders a little bit. Second down and 10. Jumping on the play and getting flagged for it is Eddie Tessier, the right end.
Well, and we've already seen a personal foul penalty here, and now we've got an offsides call. It's going to get 5 more yards. For Carlsbad, they get the big break on the 35-yard run from Pascarella. Now 5 more and a penalty here to get him out right near midfield.
So the Dons need to regroup. All the momentum on their side. They score a touchdown. They cut up the vaunted Lancers defense and then have them pinned at the 7-yard line. And Nick Pascarella manages to work his way out for that 35-yard gain now on the 2nd and 5. Let's see if they can respond.
Power run for Nick Pascarella.
Split backfield now. Pascarella and Cisneros. On 2nd and 5, it's Pascarella. He'll try the right side. Bounces outside again. Still on his move. Stiff arms a man down. Goes across the 45-yard line and toward the 40. Another big first down run for the senior.
Well, that's Stohovich. They got the stiff arm on, and Stohovich hanging on for dear life to finally bring him down. First down run for Nick Pascarella.
Make that an 11-yard gain. Continuing to chew up yardage. And he's getting good blocking, too.
He certainly is. Look how much time he has to wait. Great job as he finds Giovanni Carvajal around the far side.
That's the double Gio, middle of the offensive line. Gio Lapp and Gio Carvajal. 2 tough customers. Cisneros running left on the end around. Tries to cut inside, and he is instead cut down. Nice play by Jordan Lance. Once again, we're calling that sophomore's name a lot.
Yeah, we are. He's made some big plays in the defensive end for the Dons. Great block by the other Giovanni Lapp this time, who got out in front of Cisneros, but the Dons had 2-3 white shirts around him, and that's the key here. Running to the football, gang tackling there, and even though one guy gets blocked, 2-3 more white shirts are there.
So it's just a gain of 1 this time. Bevilacqua comes out of the game. Back in is Miller. Morales under center, handing off. Pascarella bounces out again, and the second bounce out is going to cost him as it allowed Brian Stohovich to string out that play. Let's go down to the sidelines now and check in with Courtney Dwyer.
Well, guys, it's a tragedy that's made headlines throughout the county this week. The collapse of Mission Hills senior Scott Evelyn at a football game exactly 1 week ago. Scott remains in a coma and in critical condition at Palomar Medical Center, and there's still no word yet on what caused Scott to collapse. Now, I just talked with John and Lorraine. They are involved here with a fundraiser that they're going to be putting on at Carlsbad High School, and it's a fundraiser to help both Scott and his family. Now, there's going to be a Discovery Bank open in San Marcos. They're going to be taking all of your cash and checks if you want to bring money for Scott and his family. This has been put on together by both the football and cheer boosters and the Carlsbad Fire and Police Department. Guys.
Thanks, Courtney, and certainly our thoughts go out to Scott and his family, and hope that everyone in the community can rally. A penalty flag there on 3rd down and 5, and it's going to back up the Lancers even further now.
And if you want to make this the nation's discovery-bank.com is the website to visit. And so now you've got a 3rd and 10 situation, moving that ball back for Carlsbad, as you mentioned, Craig. They're going to split everybody out wide here.
Back to the 42-yard line now. Everybody into the pattern on 3rd and 10. High snap, and Morales brings it down. He looked to set up a screen. It wasn't there, and he runs. Morales, is he going to find the seam to the right side? Ducks to the sideline and gets spun down out of bounds. And they will fail on 3rd down to advance the chains.
Well, you're right. He was looking to the near side, didn't find anything, as Cathedral kind of came with a rush, but pulled up that rush short and dropped a lot more people back into coverage. Morales has hurt his shoulder in both the preseason and the first 2 games of this year, so a play like this is something Bob McAllister's going to have nightmares about, his quarterback being thrown down at the far sideline. That one probably not as bad as it could have been.
It was Hal Hunter grabbing him by the back of his jersey. Almost a horse collar, but he just grabbed jersey and one-handed him with that ninja grip to bring him down. They're going for it on 4th down and 5. It's a long 4. It's a 3-step drop, a slant, incomplete. He was looking for Travis Miller. Good job by the Dons to anticipate, and their sideline starts hopping as they force the Lancers to turn it over on down.
Momentum shifting toward the white and red here tonight. Lead taken by the Dons, and the Cathedral Catholic defense comes out with a 4-and-out stop to get the ball back at the 37-yard line.
So now 6:05 to go in the first half. Cathedral Catholic with the lead and the ball, and we've been talking a little bit about some of the potential shortcomings in the wing T offense, Jack. This is where they all become strengths. Russell, play fake, looking to run himself. He's going to be knocked down right at the line of scrimmage there. Good pursuit by Eagle down the line.
A lot of times the wing T does not allow you to come back if you're down big time early on in a ball game. But if you have the lead, nothing better to grind out a ball game than running that wing T offense. Ball control, time of possession. The wing T is perfect. The lead.
Now it's going to be Jacko up the middle. He's got room to run. Jacko spins around at midfield. Fumble, ball's on the ground. Who's got it? Carlsbad thinks they do. Simpson's pointing, shows Miller. Who's got the ball? The answer is, well, everyone's pointing. And it's the Lancers. Carlsbad recovers the fumble. A huge turnover in this game.
Let me make a correction. The wing T is perfect with the lead if you don't cough up the football. Carlsbad now. 5.5 minutes, Craig, left to play in the first half. Key here is putting some points on the board, at least tying this game up. And that's a huge turnover.
Down low to start that was Travis Miller. Miller's the man who pumped the ball loose.
Yeah, I think Searson was in there on the play trying to battle for that ball. I mean, there was a huge pile of it. It took him 30 seconds to figure out who had it.
So 1st and 10 from midfield. Just like that, the Lancers get the ball back. Each side's now turned it over once. Pascarella up the middle. Plows into the defender, Patrick Quinn, and knocks him back for about a 5-yard gain.
I was just going to make the point before the fumble, Craig, that I really enjoyed the changeup of going from Gaffney to Jacko and how much faster Jacko looks. And he looks so much quicker because you have the power back in Gaffney out of the wing T. And I was going to mention how much I enjoyed the changeup there. All of a sudden, the football comes loose.
It was a nice run by Jacko.
Yeah.
He showed speed But that last spin move to try and get an extra couple of yards wound up costing him. It exposed the ball to Travis Miller, and Miller did a good job to knock it loose.
Miller's had a good game here. He's had to come up from the corner position to make tackles on defense. And I like the physical play of Nick Pascarella here tonight. He's not afraid to go up the middle with that ball.
Interesting to note, Jack, as Morales got the play in from the sideline. A lot of two-way players in this Lancers team, and a lot of the offensive linemen were hugging their hands to their knees right there. A little bit of fatigue setting in here late in the second quarter. See how they react on 2nd and 5. Pascarella does it himself, and he lost the ball, and it's spinning around there. Are they going to say he was down? Yes, they will. Down by contact. Nick Pascarella gets away with one. The ball squirted away once he hit.
Well, we almost had back-to-back turnovers here in the span of 3 or 4 plays. Nick Pascarella very lucky. That ball was down before he was down before that ball came loose.
Well, let's see and make sure. Pascarella hit first by Kyle Boyce. I think his knee was down.
I think so as well, but that's very, very close. And it would have gone to Cathedral had that placed through as a fumble.
Instead, into the 39-yard line. 2 carries for 11 yards this drive for Pascarella. Handoff to Nick. He just shrugs off a defender, pushes Cisneros forward to add to the blocking as he goes across the first down line inside the 30.
Nice job by Dylan Porras to come up and make the tackle from the safety position, but got a run over. And Pascarella has played with a little bit more physical nature here tonight, Craig. Sure, we can see him bouncing to the outside like he did on the touchdown run, but he's going to find somebody to hit.
If you look real close at the top of those gloves that Nick Pascarella is wearing, he's got a pair of Superman wristbands on, and he said he's got a jersey underneath as well. He's got his Superman underoos on, and he's running like Superman right now. Here's Pascarella, Kryptonite. He's dropped right away in the name of Ryan Downing. That's his nickname.
You call him the Kryptonite? Defensive side of the ball. Well, Pascarella has been the entire offense. They've gone 22 the entire drive here. Giving the ball to their fullback. Bob McAllister not taking any chances, want to get this ball deep into Don territory.
They've done a good job maybe to knock Cathedral Catholic back. This is a good place given Morales his arm strength to maybe test a pass here. He's got 2 wide receivers split to the left, Travis Miller along with Michael Vandenkolk. Instead of handoff, and now it's Cisneros a little bit faster. He gets into the 23-yard line for a gain of 3.
We talked about the losses the Carlsbad had last year from their offensive side. Antoine Dawson, who carried the ball 100 times for 511 yards, caught the ball out of the backfield so effectively. Cisneros is the guy who's replacing him in this Thunder and Lightning combination in the backfield with Pascarella. He's done a nice job this season because they've had to rely on him so much. He's also the kicker on this team. He does a lot for this offense. And he's done a nice job so far this year with now over 200 yards on the ground.
Downing and Tessie are in on the combo tackle. Big 3rd down here. 3rd and a long 5 for Carlsbad. Clock inside 3 minutes first half, and a whistle and a flag. And Cathedral Catholic, their backfield is clapping their hands because that's a false start penalty against the Lancers.
Well, Justin Morales has done a nice job of the snap counts here tonight. We've seen a lot of the Dons players with a bit of a flinch, but that time a delay of game pushes you back 5 yards as you wait for that count at the line of scrimmage.
And, Jack, you have to think that Hal Hunter has at least a little bit to do with this. When the Lancers know on a 3rd down they're passing, they're flinching, wanting to get back, get proper setup on their pass protect. And twice in a row, they've turned a 3rd and 5 into a 3rd and 10. Now let's see if they can convert. Morales, 5-step drop, swings it left, Pascarella in open space, across the 20-yard line. He needed the 18, and I think he's a yard short.
I think you're right about that.
That's huge hit at the end of that play as well.
Well, Pascarella's not afraid of a huge hit like that. There you're going to give him just about a yard shy, as you mentioned. Boy, I mean, the Cathedral Catholic, a couple players fly into each other.
And again, it's Ryan Downing sticking his nose in there. Timeout's been called by the Dons because they know on 4th down and short here that in all likelihood, Carlsbad's going for it.
David Cisneros has not attempted a field goal here this season. This would be a 37-yard attempt right from just inside the 20-yard line. And I think you're right. I think the Carlsbad's thinking go for it here with 2:15 left, and they're down on their own home field here. love to punch it in with 2 minutes left, kind of capitalize off that fumble.
They were just stopped on a 4th and 4. Now it's a 4th and 2 from essentially the 20-yard line. The nose of the football just inside. And a huge decision on that Cathedral Catholic Don's sideline and in their defensive huddle of how they plan to game plan here on 4th and short. Do you look for Pasquarella right up the middle?
I think you have to. I think you have to plan that Justin Morales is going to give that ball to Nick Pasquarella and have him go right up the middle of the field. It's worked for him the entire drive.
Kyle Boyce, Patrick Quinn, Abu Jalil on that Cathedral Catholic, defensive line. Each with a knee down, ready to get tested here. As Morales gives the play to the Lancers huddle.
Abu Jalil, big nose tackle at 6'2", 290 in the middle.
Now they come to the line of scrimmage. And it is a split back formation. And off Pasquarella, up the middle. He's got the first down, churning his legs forward to get to close to the 15-yard line. That's all strength and work in the offseason and in the weight room.
Well, I mean, again, he has good blocking, but this is Nick Pasquarella overpowering the white jerseys who are trying to bring him down. This is great individual effort. I especially think so on this drive for Pasquarella. And we talked about that game he had in the playoffs last year where he had 21 carries for 315 yards and those 6 touchdowns in the win over Escondido last year. They won that one 63-21, and he was a huge part of that.
A lot of the time in that game, he was flowing through the mud at the line of scrimmage like it was water. Cisneros jitterbugging up the middle this time. The pile pushes him forward as the clock continues to tick. Inside 2 minutes now, down to 1:45 in the first half.
You're right about that. How about that pile moving forward toward the goal line? I didn't think that Cisneros was going to be able to gain too much on that carry, but the purple jersey's just churning toward the end zone.
It's a gain of 4. Now clock inside a minute and a half. Are the Lancers going to look for a quick strike pass here? Instead, a handoff Pasquarella. This time the left side. Pushes through a man. Goes for the goal line and is stopped just short. Brought down there by Jordan Lance again to save a touchdown, 1st and goal.
Jordan Lance had a huge game, but Nick Pasquarella has been so impressive on this drive. And with 1:09 now, they'll wind the clock with the ball on the 2-yard line.
Look at that, just knocking down Dylan Porlis, leaving him in his wake.
And Porlis is a great player. That's a huge hit from Pasquarella on the offensive side.
Lorenzo Neal style just leaned his shoulder in and buried him. 1st and goal. Here it comes to Pasquarella. There he goes into the pile. He's not going to get there.
Yeah, Eddie Tessier was the first man to hit him for Cathedral Catholic, and he might have actually lost a yard on that play.
And the clock continues to run, and a timeout's going to be called by Bob McAllister, and why not, to freeze it at 35 seconds.
I was wondering whether we're going to use those timeouts. And it appears now on 2nd down they'll use their 2nd timeout of the first half.
I think you're right, Jack. He lost a yard on that play. And let's take a look at it once again and see some great defensive penetration and a nice job of just standing up that offensive line.
And number 52 is Eddie Tessier there for Cathedral Catholic, pulling him backward there.
Ow!
Jeez.
Just grabbed him around the neck and yanked.
Sean Doyle, knowing his team needs a goal line stand to produce a lead going into halftime. They've gone to the ground each and every time on this drive, Craig. Mostly to Pasquarella. They've mixed it up with Cisneros.
1 swing pass on 3rd down. That's it.
Yep. Doyle has, again, 2 CIF championships. Bob McAllister has 3 of the last 5. During that run that Swede Kirchmar had, it was Cathedral Catholic was one of the 2 teams to defeat Carlsbad during that run in the early 1960s. There were only 2 teams to beat Carlsbad in the championship game.
They come to the line of scrimmage. It's the 3-yard line on 2nd and goal. Pasquarella, Cisneros, split backfield once again. Everybody on the offensive line in a tight formation. Pitch Pasquarella. Cisneros behind him. He leaps into the end zone. Reggie Bush style. He takes the Nestea plunge to give Carlsbad the lead.
We talked about the Superman jersey he wears under that number 22. and he soared over the goal line. High flying act for Nick Pasquarella, and he gives the Lancers back the lead here with 29 seconds left in the half.
You gotta love the Superman act. Nick Pasquarella getting all sorts of kudos from his teammates there, and the crowd loves it. Hungry for the goal line, and he nibbles. There it is, the Superman jersey. Way to find the camera, Nick.
Pasquarella, the senior, doing a nice job. I mean, in the way he came down, too, a dangerous play. And as he came down, kind of almost on the back of that helmet. But, boy, what an individual effort on the drive from Nick Pasquarella.
They
Two
tugged on
touchdowns.
Superman's cape, and they could not bring him down until he found the goal line. Let's see it.
Gets the pitch. And that's about the 2-yard line, Craig.
Holy cow. Jordan Lance was there, too, to undercut him.
Man, that's the 2-3 yard line where he took off from on that dive.
They're getting ready for the extra point. The buzz in the crowd is palpable. Can't believe what they saw. Nick Pasquarella just throwing his life at risk, flying in there.
Well, again, he's been limited their first 2 games. He hasn't had that breakout game for 2007 yet.
Here's Jose Hernandez to kick the extra point. Tommy Porter's going to hold it, and it's good. To make it a 14-10 ball game. And let's look one more time at Nick Pasquarella's high-flying act.
Well, deserves another watch for sure. As Pasquarella, after losing a yard in the last attempt, hit once, twice, 3 times, and flies into the end zone.
He leaped backwards. It was the Nesty plunge, I'm telling you.
And then over the sideline, lifts up the Superman shirt underneath. Got the Superman wristbands on. Well, what a performance here tonight. I mean, he has both touchdowns on the ground here tonight for Carlsbad.
A 12-play, 50-yard, grind-em-out drive that was all Nick Pasquarella. He gained all but 7 of those 50 yards.
And they were down 10-7, using the clock after the fumble recovery. What a way to gain momentum back on your home field after the turnover to grind out the clock, and really dominant on that drive.
So you have to think that the Dons are just going to run it out here. They hope for a big return from Jacko. He goes all the way back into his end zone. Now Jacko's going to get knocked down at the 20-yard line. And without a big play passing offense, this is going to be a run and into the half. And Cathedral Catholic, Jack, has to be happy with the way they've played for the most part. But we've seen now twice in their first and final drives of this half that when the Lancers assert their will, they can still push the ball on the Dons.
Very nearly steps into the end zone there on the return. And you're right, with the exception of the final 5 minutes of this first half, if you're Cathedral Catholic or Sean Doyle, you're very happy with the way you performed as the number 8 team, trying to knock off the number 1 team in this county for the first time in 23 games. 22 straight games without a loss, including 2 this season.
Of course, Tyler Gaffney would like to think that he could break off a big run on his own. It's Jacko that gets the ball. TJ Jacko crosses the 25, gets to the 30-yard line, or close to the 30. And a timeout's been called by the Dons, so 15 seconds left. They are going to at least try to see and force Carlsbad to play some sound fundamental option defense.
This is the final timeout called by Cathedral Catholic here in the first half. And you do have the big play option from Nick Russler tonight. He's shown that.
Quick timeout. We'll be back with the last play next on Time Warner Cable Sports. That's inside of the 30. He's gone.
What an incredible run.
Your attention, please. Your attention, please.
Our next game in a couple of weeks, Jack, a classic. We see it every year, and we always look forward to it, LCC and Carlsbad. Here, second down, likely the last play of the half. Russell, under heavy pressure, lobs it up there, And that was a short hop catch attempt. Kevin Bobrow down the field. Incomplete is the call. And with 7.6 seconds left, Cathedral Catholic will try again. Again, our next broadcast, and it will be live right back here at Swede Kirschmar Field, Friday, October 5th, the Mavericks and the Lancers.
That's right. If you're in the North County, Channel 19. Everywhere else in San Diego, Channel 71. We're happy to have you along.
Check back in with Courtney on our halftime show coming up here in just a moment. First, another run attempt in all likelihood by Cathedral Catholic. We'll see. They will indeed. Just hand it off to Gaffney. He gets thrown back by Brady Eagle. A physical tackle to bring it in to this first half of play. So, Carlsbad tested by Cathedral Catholic. Both teams turn over the ball. The Dons make a huge defensive stop, but in the end, the Lancers run into their locker room up by 4. We'll take a timeout. Back with halftime next, live from the campus of Carlsbad High School on Time Warner Cable Sports.
Support our schools. Get Roadrunner High Speed Online in September. A portion of every Roadrunner sale in September will go to Time Warner Cable's Tech Tools for Schools Fund. Through our partnership with the Technology Training Foundation of America, the funds will be used to place hundreds of computers in local schools and bring technology to students. So wait no more. September is the month to support schools and start experiencing the super fast speed of Roadrunner. Call Time Warner Cable today.
And my dad says it costs almost $1 million. My mom says they don't know how they're going to pay for it. Oh, also, I have a big crush on Kenzie Walker. And my dad says that her family is nothing but trouble. But I like her. I really like her. Oh, and you know what else?
If you're not keeping your identity completely anonymous on the internet, everything you write or post is like saying it in public. For more information, go to pointsmartclicksafe.org.
What is that thing?
Looks like somebody's double chin. Must have lost it snacking on fruits and vegetables.
Somebody's gonna trip on that.
Who's there? Hi. I was told someone was gonna come out here and fix my TV, like 2 hours ago.
What was his name?
I don't know his name, but he told me.
Peter? Andrei? Vasily? Sergey?
He said he'd be right here.
Would you mind if I put you on hold? I can have a look through.
At Time Warner Cable, you get on-time service guaranteed. Time Warner Cable, the power of you.
Got little hose it. Join us for the 25th Annual Oktoberfest, Saturday, October 6th from 1 to 10 p.m. at Holiday Park in Carlsbad. Kids can enjoy the pumpkin patch and decorating contest. All proceeds benefit local charities. Presented by Time Warner Cable and these fine businesses.
Another Rotary project benefiting your community.
It's halftime. We're back live at the campus of Carlsbad High School, where the Lancers lead Cathedral Catholic 14-10, along with Jack Cronin and Courtney Dwyer. I'm Craig Elston, happy to have you with us. We'll have all the stats and stories from the first half in a moment, but right now, always a treat to introduce the renowned award-winning Lancer Dancers. Someone down there will be a future Clipper girl. The Lancer Dancers.
Always a special edition here, and got a pretty good crowd to perform in front of here tonight, I must say.
Big crowd tonight. Carlsbad with the lead, 14-10. Their 22-game unbeaten streak is on the line tonight. We'll take a quick timeout, come back, get caught up on all the stats, and get you ready for the second half kickoff as we roll forward here on Time Warner Cable Sports.
May I have your attention, please? Would the owner of the spare tire, slightly hairy, with a little brown mole to the left of the belly button, it's an innie. Please report to the press box and retrieve your appendage. Oh, they must have lost this parking further away from the stadium and walking in. Okay, we're back to the action.
You know, this used to be a good neighborhood. Now it's a mess. You got all these polyps running around. Stick it in the devil.
Colon cancer almost always starts with the polyp. Get the polyp early and stop colon cancer before it even starts.
Where'd you think you were running to, huh? I didn't even see you guys there.
Get the test, get the polyp,
I want to talk to my lawyer!
get the cure.
I got a phone call!
If you're not helping after-school programs, you're really helping to take them away.
That wasn't very nice.
After-school programs, wouldn't you rather be helping?
I'm curious. Is halftime?
The game's already over.
Who won?
That's not the point. Can you please make my service work again?
We have our best man on the job. You don't worry, he'll be there soon.
Get customer service that lives where you do. Time Warner Cable, the power of you.
Make contact. Make friends. Make fun.
Plans.
Trouble.
Make a point. Make it happen.
Make believe.
Like
good. Make new. Make clear. Make up your mind. Make peace. Make inroads. Reference.
Make change.
Make sense.
Make hate.
Make something.
Make a stand.
Make it happen.
Make art. Make a difference.
Make a difference.
Make noise.
It is the 50th anniversary of Carlsbad High School, and 10 members of the 50th anniversary team are here, of the 1957 Carlsbad team, being honored through the Purple Arch right now at halftime, as the 2007 Lancers lead Cathedral Catholic 14-10.
And indeed, that was the start of that 3 titles in 5 years run. It began in 61, it went through 65, with the Lancers won 3 titles in 5 years under Swede and Kretschmar. And now they've done that again here under Bob McAllister, where they've won 3 titles in 5 years, winning back-to-back championships and then winning again in 2002.
So a neat scene here. The Lancers certainly paying homage to their history. The Carlsbad mayor, if you missed it, called the first play of the game for the Lancers today, which was a plunge by Nick Pasquarella for 0, but still made the right choice.
Oh, hey, look, he started things off. He set the tone, the mayor did. Give the ball to Nick Pasquarella. He knows what he's talking about.
And Nick Pasquarella absolutely did it, took it from there, carrying 16 times in the first half for 121 yards and 2 touchdowns, and he finished it off with a little bit of style.
Yeah, he certainly did, with a 3-yard flying through the air high wire act that gave him his second touchdown. Pasquarella with 2 touchdowns and 121 yards, as you mentioned, Craig. He nearly has doubled his output for the first 2 games of the season with his performance here tonight, showing no effects of that deep thigh bruise suffered last week against Helix.
Carlsbad inconsistent at times in this first half, and a final ovation here for the 57 team and representatives thereof of some of the players from 1957. Take a look now at a couple of the highlights of first half action, with Carlsbad getting off to a very quick start in this ball game.
Yeah, David Cisneros and Nick Pasquarella have combined for this huge ground attack that has produced 2 touchdowns here for Carlsbad on the day. And it's been a pounding attack. It's been a physical game, one you expected with the wing T coming in against the power running game of Carlsbad. It's something we pretty much expected, but the performance of Nick Pasquarella has been truly impressive here tonight.
Here is the second touchdown from Pasquarella, and the one that'll be on every single highlight show. And how does he not wind up with a bruised and broken neck at the end of this? Don't forget, earlier we saw Pasquarella being yanked by the neck at the bottom of a pile. This time he lands on the back of his shoulder pads, back of his helmet, bounces up. One of his 16 carries, and again, 121 yards and 2 scores. Nick Pasquarella has been the story once again here at Swede-Kirschmar Field.
Tough kid, tough player, and a physical game, I think one much more so than Carlsbad is used to along this 22-game streak without a loss. And right now they're going for win number 23. It goes back all the way to 2005, a loss to Rancho Bernardo in October of 05. Carlsbad gets Rancho Bernardo next week here in 2007. You had 12 games in 06, including the championship, 8 games in 05, including the championship, and the first 2 here in 2007.
Cathedral Catholic, their grinded out offense. They've split the carries for the most part between Gaffney and Jacko. We'll bring you those stats and more. Get ready. The third quarter kickoff is next as we continue on at halftime. Carlsbad leading the Dons 14-10. This is Time Warner Cable Sports.
Got little hose it. Join us for the 25th Annual Oktoberfest, Saturday, October 6th from 1 to 10 p.m. at Holiday Park in Carlsbad. Kids can enjoy the pumpkin patch and decorating contest. All proceeds benefit local charities. Presented by Time Warner Cable and these fine businesses.
Another Rotary project benefiting your community.
You know, we sing for millions of girls, but helping out in schools, that's the real deal, baby.
I know our love can multiply.
I'm the cute one, you know what I'm saying? Have you ever been backstage before?
Cause you're the excellent.
I think you'll find that gravity is key in what I do.
Once was one, but now we're 2. I'm spinning out of
Greg Elston, Jack Cronin back with you live here on Time Warner Cable Sports, getting ready for the start of the third quarter. Carlsbad leads Cathedral Catholic 14-10. Right now, down to the sidelines for an update from Courtney Dwyer.
Well, guys, I was able to get a little walk and talk in with Coach McAllister after the half, and he said it's simple. You can't make mistakes against a good team, which includes fumbling the ball. McAllister said this is exactly what he expected. Cathedral Catholic is a well-coached team, and they want to win just as much as we do. Guys.
Thank you, Courtney. Take a look at the halftime stats for Cathedral Catholic, Jack, and it's Tyler Gaffney, 12 carries, 55 yards, workmanlike. TJ Jacko has been a nice change of pace as well.
Yeah, he certainly has. He came with 114 yards on the ground coming in over 3 ball games, already with 43 yards on 7 carries and the touchdown for Cathedral Catholic. And I'm sure, as Courtney mentioned, that fumble away for Carlsbad, eating away at Bob McAllister in the halftime locker room. That mistake setting up a big momentum shift that we saw until about 5 minutes left in the half. I think the momentum was on the other side of the field, was on the visitors' side with the Dons. But Carlsbad forcing their own fumble and taking the ball all the way down the field, capped off by that highlight reel touchdown from Pasquarella, has given the momentum back to the hometown Lancers.
Really, the Lancers did stop themselves. Not only the fumble for their one turnover, also a couple of false starts on 3rd downs and 5 to put them into passing situations that, at least in one case, they were unable to overcome. So we'll see if it's a more disciplined Big Purple that comes back out on the sidelines. We certainly know that the Dons, well rested here, need to play a big third quarter, try and reestablish that line of scrimmage leaning in their favor if they want to try and hang on in the fourth quarter against this extremely well-conditioned Lancers team.
We were starting to talk to you about that before the fumble from Cathedral Catholic and how they had the lead and they had the ability to grind out the ball game with the wing T offense. And that's what Craig's talking about. If they get a lead here, immediately striking in the third quarter, then they can go to their offensive bread and butter. If not, they're going to have to rely on Russell and the wide receivers for the Dons to make big plays down the field, which we have seen today, but they're going to have to rely on that if they continue to trail here late in this ball game.
So it will be the Lancers kicking off, and Jose Hernandez, the senior, will be doing that kicking. Deep for Cathedral Catholic is going to be Dylan Porlis, and right now let's look at the one score of the night for the Dons, and it was T.J. Jacko and a great cutback.
Yep, and as you said during that play, Craig, the entire line of scrimmage was moving toward the left, and Jacko cut it back to the right. I really liked the change of pace that he gave Tyler Gaffney here tonight. We heard so much about Gaffney with his 360 yards. In fact, he got 60% of the plays. We heard so much about him that Jacko can be overlooked, and I love the change of pace, and I love that Sean Doyle has been committed to going to other players.
There's Porlis, Jacko as well. TJ, there he is, split to the right of this split back return setup. Hernandez is ready to kick, and we're about ready to get underway. 24 minutes more football here, live from Sweet Kirschmar Field.
The Dons needing a big return here. And set them up in nice field position.
Now finally the refs are ready to get this underway. And here we go. They had to wait for ESPN to get back from their break.
Yeah, it was the timeout guy, the monitor guy in the orange jersey.
Oh, wait, we're the football broadcast. Here's the kickoff. It's Jacko at the 1-yard line. Runs across from his wedge, cuts back to the inside, stuck at the 20-yard line and brought down there. Again, good pursuit by the Lancers defense, which sprints onto the field.
David Cisneros ran all the way by him on the kickoff coverage. Got great penetration down the field, but ran right by him all the way into the end zone. Great speed. And it doesn't turn out too badly for the Carlsbad coverage unit.
So we'll call it the 21-yard line. And 1st and 10 for this wing T offense.
And we'll see how Tyler Gaffney comes out and starts this second half, with Jacko lined up right next to him in the backfield.
2 men in motion, and there's the big tackle moving from right to left, Everett Benyard. Now they go left behind Gaffney, and Gaffney just shoulders his way past a couple of tackers, sailing in over the top. Brady Eagle soaring for a late stick on Gaffney after a short gain to the 25.
That's a lot of Cathedral Catholic moving toward the near side of the field. You've got Gaffney at 2:15 following Benyard at 3:15 around the near side, pulling guards, and he just kind of bowls over a couple of guys here. He needs 2, 3, 4 purple jerseys to bring him down.
2nd down and 6 now. Fake, Russell, time to throw, finds his man. It's Gaffney muscling past a couple defenders, extra yardage all the way to the 45.
Well, again, we saw Gaffney drop a pass earlier in this ball game, and a nice reception there. If he can get the ball out in some space, that's a huge benefit for Cathedral Catholic, because usually he's getting tough yards in the line of scrimmage. You can get him out in some space with the football. Look out.
A physical runner, and you can see his yards after the catch as well. The leading receiver for Cathedral Catholic, Tyler Gaffney.
Yep, leading receiver, leading rusher, and a nice play to get him out in some space.
1st and 10, Gaffney pitch moving right, rumbling toward the sideline in midfield. And that's where he'll be brought down after a gain of, looks like just short of 5 yards.
Well, Tyler Gaffney averages 4.8 yards a carry this season. They've already moved the football 30 yards on this opening drive for Cathedral Catholic. You get the halftime rest for the guys in the wing T, and you bring them right back out there, and they're pounding the football.
And I really do think that's a key, Jack. When you're talking about a team like Carlsbad, where they're going to get you is late in the second quarter, late in the fourth quarter, when they have a physical edge. Right now, that edge somewhat muted because both teams are rested and fresh. Misdirection play. Gaffney plunging up the middle. And he's got a first down across the 45 to the 43-yard line.
Well, he's been impressive on this drive. That time they faked the ball to TJ Jacko and went right at the gut with Tyler Gaffney.
First down, Cathedral.
And another first down for the Dons. Nice movement on this drive.
It's into the 43-yard line. And Gaffney on this drive with 14 yards on 3 carries and a 20-yard reception. Now, Russell fakes twice, dropping back, rolling to his right. He's going to fling it deep. Has a man, and it's tipped out of his hands. Right there was the tight end, Kyle Lokank. And he had it off of his fingertips before it was blistered out of there.
Well, Lokank is a big target at 6'5", 230 for Nick Russell. And Russell was pretty quick rolling out the pocket to the far side. How about Nick Pasquarella back there in little pass coverage?
Pasquarella can do it all. Cisneros plays both ways as well.
That ball was very nearly intercepted.
It could have been. This time Gaffney split out. And the handoff, rumbling up the middle, Frankie Martin. Martin, the reserve, just giving Gaffney a play off.
Frankie Martin with just his 4th carry of the season, but he does average about 8 yards a carry.
And he got 5 right there, Jack, and a big 5 on 2nd and 10 for this offense. 3rd and 5, a lot more doable, especially after Gaffney's had to play off to rest. Let's see if he gets the ball here from the 38-yard line. They pitch it to Gaffney, running right, cutting inside, thriving, churning his legs, but he stood up by 4 different Lancers defenders and brought down. And right down there in the bottom of the pile is Marty Porter.
That's a great stand by Carlsbad because Cathedral Catholic loaded up the far side of the offensive line. They brought, again, those 3 huge offensive linemen, split them out to the far side in front of Tyler Gaffney, and he only got 3 yards on that carry. That's a big credit to the Carlsbad defensive front.
So on 4th and short, the Dons are going for it as you would expect on a wing T offense. These are the plays that they base their line on. There's Soto holding up Gaffney, but with extra lower body strength, he's able to garner the first down.
Well, Wally Soto got in the backfield, but Gaffney only needed 2 yards on that play. And he appears to have just gotten the first down. Great second effort.
He got 3 when he needed 2. And a big first down conversion. The Dons move the chains, keep the clock moving on this, the 9th play of the opening drive of the 3rd quarter.
The only pass completion has been to Gaffney, and now he checks out of the ball game.
And the handoff goes to Zach Stormer, another senior who picks the ball up there on the misdirection play.
And Stormer's a great name, and just 5'4", 135. Stormer coming on the end around play. Stormer's the guy you're going to see come in motion a lot in that wing T. It's the 3rd option there, whether you get the tailback or the fullback or the guy in motion across the sideline. That time it was Stormer as Gaffney had come out of the ball game. He's back in now.
Easy to lose him in the mix there in a misdirection. This time no misdirection. It's a stick up the middle. Joey Searson says hello to Frankie Martin.
Ouch. Searson averaging about 12 tackles a ball game in that middle linebacker spot that's been such a legacy here for the Carlsbad Lancers. And pretty good penetration, you would say, into the Dons backfield.
They gave him 2 yards on that play, but they were a painful 2, grinding the ball to the 26-yard line. Gaffney not in there again. And it's Jacko, and he stood up and knocked down 2 big sticks, and Searson right there putting his helmet in the middle of his shoulder pads once again.
2 huge plays from Joey Searson here. You know, the Carlsbad defense again having to stand up as they're backed up against their own goal line here. Ball at the 25-yard line, and 2 huge plays from Joey Searson.
And another 4th down now, and this one's going to be a 4th down and 3. As only a 1-yard gain there for Jacko. Searson making 2 huge solo tackles.
And that time there he went low for the tackle, good form, and the very, very quick Jacko unable to escape.
On 4th down and 3, Gaffney undercut in the backfield and snowed down, flying through. It was Jordan Garcia, a great job anticipating the snap. He got the first ankle touch, and then Searson and Eagle are in there to clean it up and force the turnover on down.
Well, a great job by Jordan Garcia to get in the backfield. His penetration just enough to slow down before his linebacking core. What can you say about Brady Eagle, about Joey Searson, about these guys in the linebacking core for Carlsbad? Just a nice stand.
It was a 12-play drive that started at the Dons 21. It dies at the Lancers 25. And now Carlsbad takes over on offense. And Morales pitching to Pasquarello. Option pass play. He's going to lob it downfield to Miller. A leaping attempt into triple coverage and knocked down.
That's the second time this year they've run that play. The first time they ran it was in the first game after Justin Morales was hurt. And Nick Pasquarello ended up completing a 40-yard pass to Vince Ewing on that play. Pasquarello now is 1 for 3 this season in passing, but he's able to make that throw. And look at the tight spiral from the halfback option pass. This is a play they have completed in the past, but 3 defenders are right there to make the call. And obviously you've seen that on film if you're Cathedral Catholic. You know Pasquarello is capable of throwing that. And it's a play that they scored on the championship game against Poway last year with Antoine Dawson.
TJ's brother Josh Jacko is the first on that defense. Now darting up the middle and getting driven down hard was David Cisneros. Let's toss down to Courtney Dwyer with a special local interview. Well, Courtney had her hair dryer on there, and we couldn't hear, but we'll go right back down to the sidelines in a second.
Yeah, but she looks fantastic. We'll get back down there in just a minute. You're right. The hair dryer going a little bit too loud here.
A clever production error, but we will correct it in a moment. 3rd and 4 first. Morales hanging in the pocket, zips it to Soto. How did he thread the needle on that pass between 3 defenders for a first down?
I thought for sure that ball was going to be intercepted.
Let's go to Courtney once again.
Sorry guys, that was practice. We're down here on the field with Nancy Held-Lucas, and Nancy, you are the producer for A Taste of Carlsbad, which happens tomorrow. Let's talk about where.
Well, it's on Armada Drive up by Legolands between Cannon Road and Palomar Airport Road, overlooking the flower fields and the ocean. Beautiful spot.
Now, it's the 11th annual. Talk about the history of this event.
The event has been 11 years for the Carlsbad Educational Foundation, and this year we're 2 to 5 tomorrow up on Armada Drive. We have 22 restaurants. Some of them are new restaurants, beautiful food, a lot of good taste. We also have an art auction of Eric wall paintings, and we also have some beautiful umbrellas that will be auctioned off. So it's a full day of art and food.
All right, now if it rains tomorrow, what are you guys going to do?
There will be no rain tomorrow. We worried about that for 48 hours. We're over it. It's done. There's no rain.
All right, sounds good to me. All right.
It's not coming. So.
Thanks a lot, Nancy. Guys, back to you.
I like the prognostication. Well, it didn't rain tonight. They said it was going to rain. It didn't rain.
We got beautiful weather for a game tonight.
Hand off to Pasquarello. He gained 11 on the last play and a first down. This time, stops, stutter steps, goes to that right sideline again, and he's out just short of the 35-yard line for a big first down gain.
Good second move by Nick Pasquarello to get to the outside. Little stutter step there from the fullback of the Carlsbad Lancers.
The ball to the 36 now, so that's a gain of 7 yards there on first down.
And let's give credit to Justin Morales on that pass to Wally Soto, Craig. I mean, right before we tossed it to Courtney, he threaded the needle against three Cathedral Catholic defenders. I have no clue how he got it right through there to Soto for the first down.
Yeah, I've seen the guy throw it through the tire before. He threw it through like the tire of a Hot Wheel. And those are solid. Morales rolling to his left. Finds Soto again, his favorite man. He almost cuts it down the sideline. Wally Soto deep into scoring territory now for the Lancers.
He came in with only 2 catches into this ballgame. He's had 3 big ones, including 2 on this drive, and sure-handed. Nice tight end work there from Soto. Sure-handed. That's not a tough catch. It is a tough catch to make, rolling to that far sideline. So that's a pretty nice effort.
That's a gain of 21 yards for Soto, the 6-foot senior, who, when he's not making great catches in the seam and running little square outs there, is plugging up the middle as the two-way nose tackle for the Carlsbad defense. Now they come to the line, 1st and 10 from the 15. And it's Pasquarello running to the right, looking for the end zone. Nick Pasquarella's down at the 2. Pasquarello picks up 13 yards and sets up a 1st and goal.
Got a great first block from David Cisneros, sealing off the line of scrimmage there and allowing the near side to be wide open for Pasquarella. Cisneros has done a great job of being asked to block today as the tailback in this offense, and Pasquarella has made things count here if he gets all the way to the 1-yard line.
Pasquarella with runs of 11, 7, and 13 yards on this drive. And he's looking for his 3rd touchdown if they call his number. You'd like to think they would. And here he goes. Pasquarella to the end zone. Touchdown, Carlsbad. Nick Pasquarella goes jogging in. He's got the hat trick, and the Lancers extend their lead.
Looks pretty easy, doesn't it, Craig? It looks pretty easy for this line. And for Nick Pasquarella here tonight, his 3rd touchdown. And we always tell you about that playoff performance last year, the 6th touchdown performance. He has been the bulk of the offense. The vast majority of the offense here tonight has been through Nick Pasquarella, and he hasn't disappointed. That was a very easy touchdown run. He's got great blocking up front. And Cathedral Catholic kind of, at that point in time, not giving up much of a fight at the goal line.
Hernandez ready for the extra point. Sometimes football is a chess match, Jack, and sometimes football is a boxing match. There's a low snap. Porter picks it up and has to run with it. Now he just slings the ball into the end zone. It's going to hit the turf. So no extra point conversion to make it 20-10 now. Just a 10-point lead. We'll see if that becomes important. But in this case, in this 3rd quarter, Jack, we've seen a boxing match. We saw Carlsbad's defense backing up against the ropes for a minute. There's some body blows applied by that Don's wing T offense, but they stiffened up. They forced a 4th down turnover, and now it's Carlsbad on the offense, and it's the Dons looking like they're getting some heavy legs.
And they used the left hook, the uppercut of Nick Pasquarella to do so and to get into the end zone. You're right. On their own 20-yard line, they had to stiffen up and force the 4 and out. That's a huge defensive stand after they'd already allowed a 4th down conversion. The second time the Dons go for it on 4th down, they're unable to convert, and to come back with the plays up the middle to Soto off the arm of Morales and the hammer from Nick Pasquarella.
So now we'll see if Cathedral Catholic can make a play on special teams. Once again, it'll be Porlis and TJ Jacko deep.
Well, Jacko has the ability to break a big play here. We've seen the way he's run the football out of the wing T. If he gets the ball on the return, he's got the ability to make the big play.
Hernandez ready to kick off from the 40-yard line. High end over end, but a shorter kick, and Jacko fields it at the 14. TJ Jacko feeling his way past the wedge to the 25-yard line. That's where Cathedral Catholic will set up on 1st down and 10. Well, a programming reminder, don't miss Inside Southern California with Bruce W. Cook, as Bruce welcomes thoroughbred broker Jeff Bloom and racing analyst Tom Wayne to recap the 2007 Del Mar meet, along with information on how to buy a thoroughbred for less than you might think. Tune in Monday at 7:30 in the North County, or watch anytime on demand to check out recent episodes of Inside Southern California. 1st down and 10 now from the 25. And the handoff to Jacko running left. He's got it to the 30-yard line.
Well, if nothing else, you've been impressed with the other players as well as Tyler Gaffney in this Cathedral Catholic offense. I mean, so much was made of Gaffney's ability to carry the football, and rightfully so. But they have other options here out of the wing T. It's a nice change of pace, especially with a guy like TJ Jacko.
The Dons have been doing their thing. 4 yards, 5 yards, 3 yards. Officials are taking a quick timeout here, and Bob McAllister is huddling on the sideline now.
Honestly, Craig, when we talked before this game, the first 2 victories for Carlsbad in 07, not that impressive. Yes, they were over very good teams in Helix and St. Augustine, but they weren't in sync in particular on offense. This, what we've seen here tonight, is what a number 1 team's offense looks like. This is the power game of a number 1 team.
Russell on a play action, rolling to his right, and he's got his man this time. Looks like Gaffney, and he's stuck right there at the marker. So Tyler Gaffney moves the chains. He's got enough for a 1st down.
And again, I like the ability to get Tyler Gaffney out and receiving the football. And a couple of nice catches in space here tonight. And Nick Russell has looked much more efficient at quarterback, especially in the second quarter and on until right now.
Third quarter clock rolling as Russell brings the team to the line once again. New set of downs. Handoff Gaffney up the middle. There's Ewing putting his helmet into him. Pascarella in there as well. Nick doing some two-way work.
And Gaffney getting some tough yards here, as he is wont to do out of this particular offense. We're going right up the middle. They're not taking any plays off here.
Fabian Serrato was the first to hit him. And I tell you what, Serrato, a reserve linebacker, senior, but 6 foot 225, and he loves to stick his face mask in there. He's shown a lot of action in the limited time he's played. Russell going deep. That ball's caught right over Vince Ewing's outstretched hand, and coming up with the ball is Lokank.
Oh, the tight end with a huge play down to the 30-yard line. And we talked about the evolution of Nick Russell just in this particular game. First quarter, pretty sloppy on the receiving end for Cathedral Catholic. But his wideouts have come up with catches here late in this game. And Russell's put the ball there. And that's a nice big play. And something that's not often seen out of the offense for Cathedral Catholic.
29-yard gain. Jacko now trying to test the right side. Pascarella's one of the members of the Purple Gang to knock him down. And that's going to be for what looks like a short loss, perhaps.
I wonder what kind of confidence now Sean Doyle has in Nick Russell. And what we're going to see here as we get deeper into Carlsbad territory from the senior quarterback. And they've had great success when they roll him out, in particular to the right side, and they're on the right hash mark now.
There's a handoff up the middle. Gaffney just plowing his way forward. He'll cut down the yardage to gain on third down. What a hard-nosed runner.
That's a tough 3 yards to gain. That's a tough 3 yards.
So on 2nd and 10, he makes it a 3rd and 7 now. And Gaffney will take the pitch. He finds a seam, stiff arms a man across the 20-yard line. First down, Cathedral Catholic.
Every once in a while, those power runs are going to force a couple of missed tackles. You're going to be able to get it for a big gain. And that's what Cathedral Catholic is counting on. First down once again all the way to the 15-yard line.
Gaffney barreling his way forward for a gain of 12. Now, moving to the left side. Gaffney cuts it back to the middle, almost to the 10. Stopped just a bit short. That's back in Searson territory. Brady Eagle in there as well. But if you run into the middle of that Carlsbad defense, likelihood is you're going to find Joey Searson somewhere in there.
And they've been trying to run away from Searson. They've been trying to run to the right side, and they follow Everett Benyard, the 6'7", 315-pound right tackle. That's why you see a lot of these plays go to the right side for Cathedral Catholic. A kid who wasn't allowed to play football until his junior year because he was so much bigger than the rest of his competition and the rest of the kids he was playing with. And they line up, they put 3 or 4 extra offensive linemen on that right side.
Now a timeout called by Cathedral Catholic. So they'll talk it over here for just a minute. Let's take a timeout. Third quarter, Carlsbad with the lead, but the Dons looking to answer on Time Warner Cable Sports.
When you need a belt, you wear one.
No, that doesn't work either. Can you just come out here, take a look at this thing?
Okay, I'll go right there.
Get customer service that lives where you do. Time Warner Cable, the power of you.
Back here live, Carlsbad High School, third quarter. Time almost running out, and now a critical third down and short coming up for Cathedral Catholic. The ball to the 9-yard line.
Only 7 seconds left here in this quarter. I don't think they're going to get this play off.
And it looks like they might just let the clock run down, and indeed they will. So, third quarter comes to an end. It started with a Dons drive that marched to the 25 and then got stopped on downs. Nick Pasquarella took it from there. A 2-yard touchdown run and a 20-10 lead for Carlsbad. Back down now to the sidelines and Courtney.
Well, guys, normally trying to win 2 consecutive CIF San Diego Section 1 Division Championships is hard enough, but to go after 3 is almost unheard of. But I tell you, Coach McAllister is welcoming this task with open arms. He said he's ready to get up there with the Ed Burks of the world. And guys, I think it's safe to say Carlsbad High School is happy to have him. He's been here at Carlsbad for 14 years, and his overall record speaks for itself. 6 ties, only 39 losses, and 109 wins, hoping tonight to make it 110. Guys.
That's a 737 winning percentage. He is the all-time wins leader over Swede Kirschmar. In fact, this is going to be Bob McAllister Field someday, just maybe.
I don't know about that. I don't know if they're going to take the name off the field, but they certainly have some sort of co-naming rights to this facility here at Carlsbad. Only the Vista Panthers have ever won 3 consecutive Division I titles. That happened 96, 97, and 98 in the 15-year run of this division system here that we have. And Carlsbad has a great chance to do so. The number 1 team coming in. Impressive championships in 05 and 06, and already 2-0 here in 07.
Well, the Lancer Dancers keeping the crowd entertained during the timeout, and now a big third down for Cathedral Catholic to open up the fourth quarter. It's 3rd and 3 from the Carlsbad 9. Russell with Gaffney right behind him. He's going to fake to Jacko, roll right, look to the end zone, goes short to Gaffney. Does he have enough for the first down? No, I don't think he does. He just threw to the short man who was practically straddling the end line.
That's a pretty strange play, Craig. This is a pass of about 2 yards from Nick Russell. It may have lost track of where he was in the football field, or Gaffney may have done the same thing, not knowing that he was not in the end zone. This is a play designed to go right to the goal line, and instead he's right across the 5, and he steps out of bounds at the 4-yard line.
Really, you could say that was an out-of-bounds play. I mean, he came down with his foot on the line.
And Gaffney thinking maybe he should have gotten just 4 more yards closer.
They're going to have to measure here.
Boy, what a strange play. And Gaffney turned around and looked out to see how close he was to the end zone.
It was the wing T variation of the old sprint option right, the old West Coast play where you have the tight end and you have the running back running similar slants to the right as the quarterback rolls out.
And again, they've had success with Russell rolling out today, and that play was almost unnecessary. They're real close to that first down marker, I'll give you that.
A big measurement here. They stretch the chain and come up just a link short.
Boy,
so
that's a strange play now.
Now, little miscommunication there, but on 4th and inches and in a 10-point game, you go for it if you're Cathedral Catholic.
Yep, but you got the guys to do it. Run to the right side, give the ball to Gaffney. You let him run to the right side here around Benyard. And he will, I mean, it's less than a yard here right now for the Dons. This is something that's an easily big picked up by Cathedral Catholic.
All right, the ball is on the 5. They need to get it to the 4.5.
Now set up a 1st and goal if they do get there. And this sets up perfectly for the wing T. Carlsbad has stopped Cathedral Catholic on critical 4th downs throughout this ball game, including one that set up the final touchdown from Pasquarella to make it 20-10.
They are 1 for 2 on 4th down this half. Made it from 2, missed it from 3. This time it's from less than 1, really just inches. At the Dons have to advance the ball.
You may see Russell keep it himself here. We'll see him give it to Gaffney.
Well, that measurement gave the Dons plenty of time to rest and get the play straight in the huddle. Now Russell right under center. He'll sneak it. Burl it towards the end zone. And it's a 1st down and goal for Cathedral Catholic down to about the 2-yard line.
Yep, that's a fine play call. Like the quarterback sneak. And you get the 1st down and goal now to go with 11 minutes left here at 11:49 in this ball game.
Well, already once we've seen the Lancers defense hold. Hang on, penalty flag here.
Penalty marker on the field.
Let's see what this is all about. Taking a look down at the sideline, and there's Tommy Clementi, the senior defensive end. We saw him injured earlier in the game, and there it is, that left ankle. Unsportsmanlike conduct, dead ball, called against Cathedral Catholic.
Oh, what a killer penalty.
There's the injured left ankle, the sprained left ankle for Clementi. Looks like he'll be taking the rest of this game off. But what a gigantic penalty, an unsportsmanlike. So now all the way back to the 19, and it's 1st and goal from the 19.
Well, you had the missed first down on the short rollout pass. You had the great sneak to get that first down and set up a 1st and goal. Plenty of time left if you're Cathedral Catholic, even if you run the wing tee, if you score right here, but 15 yards and an unsportsmanlike.
That is a hard penalty to swallow.
Always tough for a 1st and goal from the 19.
2 wide receivers split out, Kevin Bobrow and Zach Stormer. See if one will be in motion here. And goal. Double fake. Rolling left. Hauled in by Gaffney. Turns his shoulder pads towards the goal line and is wrestled down inside the 5. So he erases that penalty almost all by himself.
That's a great play and a nice rollout by Nick Russell, the quarterback. A right-handed quarterback rolling to the left and having to make the play in which he squares his shoulders and finds the trailing back in Gaffney across the field.
And Gaffney did a nice job to reach out and pluck this ball out of the air. One-handed.
That's a nice catch. And it's a tough play for Russell to make. Again, he's not rolling out to his natural side.
It was a gain of 16. Now Gaffney on the pitch, going left, strung out by Cisneros and drilled. He's knocked out of bounds short of the end zone.
Well, David Cisneros got in the backfield, slowing him up just enough to save the touchdown for the moment, allowing the rest of the Purple People Eaters to get there on the far side.
If you live in the North County, tune in Friday and Saturday to CNN Headline News for Time Warner Cable Headline News. Courtney Dwyer and the local Headline News team bring you the latest happenings in San Diego, North County at 54 past the hour. Available only on Time Warner Cable, Channel 30. 3rd down and goal from the 1.
They've been lucky to get back here to this situation, see if they can capitalize.
They're going to plunge it with Russell. He's squeezing his way forward. Is he in? Take a look. Look for the pile to break. Is it a touchdown or not? The Dons think so. The refs don't think so. He's short. 4th down and inches for the touchdown.
Wow. That's a big, big stand for Carlsbad, but they're going to need one more, Craig. That play worked on the 1st down run for Russell.
The Lancers stack the middle. Now Russell tells Gaffney where he wants him to go. Gaffney gets it. Running right. He is in. Touchdown. Touchdown, Tyler Gaffney. Oh, that was close, Jack.
Man, just inches across the ball, breaking the plane of the goal line, and Tyler Gaffney makes this one a ball game as he stretches out across the white line. And that was a play call, as you mentioned, Nick Russell looking back at the line of scrimmage, telling Tyler Gaffney exactly where he was going to run that football, right around the right side, and just got across the line.
The missed extra point now looking bigger because this extra point is made. And now it's a field goal ball game. The Dons right in this with the #1 team in San Diego County on Carlsbad's field. Let's see if Gaffney got in.
It's a pitch back on the near side. And he's hit by Marty Porter.
Oh, man.
Very close before losing that football. That's a touchdown.
Reaching out with the ball as he's falling backwards.
Man, heads up play by Tyler Gaffney. Porter was there in the backfield, but the game of inches allows him to get the ball across. Only a 3-point game. This is the 2nd missed extra point of the season for Carlsbad in just 3 games. And we saw games last year affected by missed kicks, in particular that tie ball game between Oceanside and Carlsbad right on this field, a 10-10 game. One of these 22 games that while Carlsbad has not lost, they have had 2 ties along the way.
And that was a bad snap, as I remember as well, Jack, and it was a bad snap here that led to not even a kick attempt on that extra point, but a feeble throw into the end zone that didn't count for anything. So a 2017 game. Carlsbad, on their one time that they've had the ball here in the second half, they marched 75 yards for a score. The Lancers would like to reassert their dominance right here. Pascarella takes the kickoff, weaving his way up the middle. He'll be dropped And a nice tackle by Brad Harrington, the junior reserve linebacker.
Well, Pasquarella nearly lost the football on that return, but he does get out to the 26-yard line. And we'll see what kind of offense we see from Carlsbad. It was all Pasquarella mixed in a little bit of Cisneros on that last drive. But there are still 10 minutes left in this ball game, Craig. And only 3 points separating the two teams.
So back to the huddle, Justin Morales. He's talked it over with McAllister.
I wonder how much Nick Pasquarella's playing defense here will affect him late in this ball game. It's something we haven't seen him do throughout his career, is play a lot on the defensive side of the ball.
Pasquarella adjusting his Superman wristbands on first down. He's got the ball. How will it affect him? He breaks into the open field for a first down carry of 12 yards.
That looks pretty good to me. It's a nice move to break through the hole at your line of scrimmage, and then your second effort is after you get hit. Bouncing into the outside, breaking one tackle, and then bowling over the final guy. Pasquarella with 12 yards.
Woody Cadillo, just 5'8", 160, and hanging on for dear life against the 6', 200-pounder Nick Pasquarella.
Solid Pasquarella. And a first down, keep these chains moving here. Keep the clock moving.
Tearing off chunks of yardage at a time. Pasquarella, good forward lean there, even when he was met at the line of scrimmage. And once again, it's Jordan Lance, the sophomore linebacker, who has been by far the leading tackler for the Dons tonight.
Now, we heard about Hal Hunter and Dylan Porras coming in, and Jordan Lance, who averages about 6 tackles a ball game, has had a great game in the middle of the field for the Cathedral Catholic Dons.
So that's a gain of 4, takes it out to the 42. Cisneros back there, split back with Pasquarella. But it's Nick who gets the call. This time he goes to the left. Stiff arms a man. Turns the corner at midfield. He's across as Lance brings him down again. But not before he's into Don's territory at the 47.
Well, Dylan Porras on the receiving end of a true stiff arm to the ground as Pasquarella continues his dominance of this ball game. This is a big league stiff arm right there. And then 2 or 3 guys. Pasquarella still dives forward after that.
I just love the way that Nick Pasquarella, every time when he makes a move, Jack, he resets those shoulder pads, gets going north and south, and has that lean going, so he's going to get another 3 yards after contact almost every time.
That's what a guy his size needs to do. That's good form.
Into the 47. Now Cisneros running right. He's got 2 guards pulling in front of him. Cisneros, a burst of speed to the 40-yard line. And the Lancers tearing off chunks of yardage here.
Yeah, Chase Wick out there in front of him doing a nice job pulling in front. And they also had Fabian Serrano, the tight end, out there on the far side as well. So a nice job by the Carlsbad offensive line. He got there in front of David Cisneros and blocked for him.
Gain of 7 for Cisneros, who's been more quiet today, but that's obviously because Nick Pasquarella is healthy. That thigh bruise is healed, and the workhorse is getting the lion's share. Pasquarella, he bounces off a tackler, and it takes the entire secondary to bring him down at the 30-yard line.
Now, Cathedral Catholic's wearing down right now, Craig. Pasquarella is pounding them. And that play, he ran right into Hal Hunter, and Hunter kind of fell backward a little bit. It was almost a jump. He was stopped for a minute momentarily with the momentum moving forward, and then a couple more yards after that. I mean, Pasquarella just pounded him here late.
On the drive, 4 carries for 37 yards. And he's getting close to a 200-yard game here, Jack. Pasquarella, left side, stood up, bounces off 2 tacklers, but this time the Dons hold at the 30-yard line.
That's what it's going to take if you're Cathedral Catholic to bring down Nick Pasquarella at this point in the game. With 7 minutes left to go, it's going to take 2-3 guys in white jerseys to bring him down.
And Lance in there again. Jordan Lance has just been a beast on defense.
If you're Sean Doyle right now, with a 2nd down and 9, you're going to look for possibly a pass here from Morales. Wally So'oto has come up huge from the tight end spot.
That clock running, and that's big news as well against a wing T team. Inside 7 minutes now. 2nd down. Handoff, Pascarella finds a seam up the middle. He actually got knocked down or stopped for a moment by his offensive tackle, Steve Simpson. About the only guy who could slow the progress of Nick Pascarella, who's knocking on the red zone now. He brings it to the 21-yard line. That's real close to a first down.
Last week, Carlsbad was locked into a 14-10 ball game with Helix, and they had to run the clock out late to preserve that win. It was Cisneros who had about 55 yards on the ground. They had this drive in the fourth quarter last week, Craig. It was 7 minutes and 27 seconds to preserve a 4-point win. They're doing the same kind of thing here with a 3-point lead late in the fourth quarter, late in the ball game, except now it's Pascarella mixing in a little bit of Cisneros. But last week, they're doing it with both guys, and they're able to preserve these leads running the football.
By the nose of the football, no, a link short instead. Boy, just by about an inch. So this is going to be a third down and inches now, and gravy time for this Lancers offense. Do you just stick it in there in the heart of the line, or you try and do something tricky?
No, nothing tricky here. Bob McAllister's not that kind of coach either, but when you've dominated the line of scrimmage, in particular on this drive the way Carlsbad has, you're going to stick the ball in Nick Pascarella's hands, and you're going to let him run up the middle.
Lodged in between the 21 and 22-yard line is the football on 3rd and inches. Handed off to Pascarella. He's got a seam and more. 15-yard line, still on his feet at the 10. First and goal, Carlsbad.
Not much you can do if you're Cathedral Catholic. The Dons have put up a good fight here tonight, no question about it. For the number 8 team in the county to be pushed back like this shows what Carlsbad is all about. This is a good Cathedral team, but right now at the line of scrimmage, they're no match for Carlsbad.
A gain of 12 more yards for Pascarella. Look at that hole opening up, and his fellow running backs leading the charge.
That's right. Jordan Bavacqua and also David Cisneros out there in front of him. Great job lead blocking.
Bevilacqua in at an H-back position. Now make that Pascarella again, leaning forward. He's got about 4 more yards here on first down.
Pascarella, as you mentioned, Craig, 121 yards in the first half, approaching 200 yards easily here in the second half with 3 touchdowns here tonight.
I'll do the math next break. I think he might be over.
And it's just utter domination up front. Pascarella himself being able to go through contact tonight has been impressive. But now they need to punch it in because this is still only a 3-point ball game.
He has 3 touchdowns of the night. Number 22, Nick Pascarella, has the football. And he's got another one. No, he stopped. Oh, and look at Pascarella. He thought he was in for sure. He saw the daylight, but wrestled down there at the very edge of the end zone.
That's a heck of a tackle by Eddie Tessner. Not often tonight we've seen one man bring down Nick Pascarella, but Eddie Tessner, the senior linebacker at 6 feet 182, able to bring him down just shy at the 2-yard line.
3rd down and goal from the 2. Will he get it again? Pascarella leaping into the end zone. Touchdown! Nick Pascarella dives across the goal line. His 4th touchdown of the game.
And his second one flying through the air as he finishes off an impressive 75-yard drive for the Carlsbad Lancers. As they take so much time off the clock. 4.5 minutes left to go in this ball game, and now they've punched it in for their 4th touchdown.
Nick Pascarella said to us before the game, I'm 100%, I'm feeling great. He showed us his Superman wristbands, and we said to him, don't go crazy, don't try and score 6 touchdowns, just get 4.
Yeah, I think we did say that to him, right? We told him 4 touchdowns tonight.
That was number 4, folks. Pascarella, as Hernandez puts through the extra point to make it a 10-point game once again.
That playoff game with Escondido last year, we had the 6 touchdowns. We put him in some elite company. Here's his 4th one here tonight. Another dive into the end zone for Pascarella. But that performance last year was one of only 8 times in San Diego history we've seen 6 touchdowns in the game. Rashawn Salam is one of those other 7 guys. And it was the first time it happened in nearly 2 years. Just an incredible individual performance then, and another one nearly duplicating that here tonight for Nick Pasquarella.
It's been an unbelievable performance, a leap of faith there, just diving in front of Joey Searson, who's been having another outstanding game at middle linebacker and in the interior of that offensive line, another two-way player for this very tough, top-ranked Carlsbad Lancers team. They're looking for their 22-game unbeaten streak to roll up to 23.
Such an impressive number. 23 games without an L in the column for Carlsbad so far.
That was an 11-play drive that marched 76 yards. Now there's the kickoff into the end zone. First touchback of the night, so the Dons will have to set up with 80 yards of real estate in front of them.
And only 4 minutes and 23 seconds to do so with a wing T offense. Now, that's a tough task. To get 10 points in 4.5 minutes with that kind of offense is a tall challenge. Now, they have had success. Both offensive lines, Craig, have had success tonight. In particular, you saw that on the 75-yard drive from Carlsbad. But both lines on the offensive side have had success.
I'm just adding up Pasquarella here. He's up to 30 carries in tonight's ball
What
game.
a load.
Talk about a workhorse.
He, in the first 2 games, only had 23 carries. He's had 30 here tonight. He only had 80 yards in the first 2 games with that deep thigh bruise last week.
Russell passing and just short hopping a bounce pass out to Kevin Bobrow on 1st and 10.
Well, Russell does have tall targets to throw to on the outside. His tight end and Lokank, 6'5", Bobrow, 6'3". These are good, tall wide receivers, and Bob McAllister knows his team just had a huge drive. That's 2 weeks in a row now that McAllister's team has done exactly what they're founded on, that long, time-consuming, grinded-out drive on the ground. Bob McAllister, 14 years here, 109 wins, could have his 110th here tonight.
Now Russell hands off. Gaffney, not much there. He's dropped immediately. Pasquarella, make that Cisneros right in there. Another impressive stop, setting up now, which should be 3rd down.
And 3rd and long, Craig, 3rd and 8 for the Cathedral Catholic Dons, who put up a good fight here tonight, at one point leading this ball game 10-7. And ever since about 5 minutes left in the second quarter, this one's been pretty much in Carlsbad's hands.
Now Russell, and there's Stormer, and he is stormed down by Joey Searson. Another great one-on-one open field tackle.
That's pretty good, a flanker on a linebacker for Searson to make that tackle. As the clock continues to move, that's the most important thing, giving him inbounds there, and that clock continues to move.
All right, I've pulled off my shoes and socks, done some adding here, and I've got Pasquarella at 222 yards.
What an impressive night.
Unofficially.
What an impressive night.
There's the quick pass and a 1st down pass on 4th down. He finds Gaffney. And a slap of the helmet of Vince Ewing there by Gaffney, respecting the outstanding senior safety of the Lancers for his hard-hitting night of work.
He's going to Colorado next year, one of 2 players who's already committed to go before your college next year. Justin Moras, the quarterback, going to Idaho.
Russell's rolling left to throw. He's got a man deep, Lokank, and overshoots him by a couple of yards, 2nd and 10.
Yeah, good coverage from Carlsbad. Had 2 deep there on the coverage. Marty Porter, Travis Miller, both back there. You also had Bandit Cole kind of playing center field.
Coverage by Marty Porter.
But it does stop the clock with 3 minutes left.
2nd down.
Cathedral next week gets Otay Ranch, while Carlsbad goes on the road to Rancho Bernardo.
2nd down and 10 with 3 minutes to play here in the 4th quarter.
Interesting matchup next week for Carlsbad, Craig, as Nick Pasquarella goes back to his former school in Rancho Bernardo.
Russell under heavy pressure sets up a screen to TJ Jacko. Has a little blocking in front of him. Jacko at the 50 goes out of bounds. Smart play to stop the clock.
Russell's pass complete to Torrance Jacko.
And a 1st down gain.
Nice little backdoor screen play on the far side for Cathedral Catholic.
Something we haven't seen from the Dons offense yet tonight.
That's the first play they've run of that variety tonight. Russell draws the defense, and Jacko's wide open. And as you mentioned, gets out of bounds.
Carlsbad 47.
That was a gain of 19 yards on that pass play. Little pass, catch, and run. And it's into the Carlsbad 47. Now Gaffney hoping to break one up the middle. And Ewing is there along with Searson to stop it. It's a first down gain. But what the Lancers needed more than anything was to prevent a big play, quick strike touchdown, and they did.
And momentarily the clock will stop with the chains moving. But Ewing and Searson combining to make that tackle after an 11-yard gain from Tyler Gaffney.
So now, another play fake. Pocket sets up for Russell, finds Lokank. Incomplete. He dropped the ball after being pressured by Porter.
Yep, Marty Porter with a huge hit there. Incomplete pass. Lokank, I think, had that ball before it was hit by Porter and immediately dropped it. It's a nice job.
So Russell's already eclipsed his season passing attempt totals in this game.
And I've been more impressed. I mean, this is something that if Cathedral Catholic hopes to stay in the top 10 as they're ranked number 8 right now, they're going to need Nick Russell. We know what the offense can do in the wing T and the running game, but they're going to need him to step up in particular.
I think a real gutty effort tonight by the Dons.
I absolutely agree with that. On the road, I absolutely agree.
Coming to Carlsbad is not easy. Russell under pressure, slings it out, finds his man. It's Parker Hip with another catch. And Hip gets about 5 yards, tiptoeing the sidelines. Timeout called. Cathedral stops the clock now with 2:26 to go.
Nice elusive play from Nick Russell to sidearm that football to Parker Hip.
So the ball's at the 30-yard line now. Drum corps done a nice job to keep the beat moving here for the Lancers.
Yeah, I absolutely agree. Gutty performance for Cathedral Catholic. 3-0 now coming into this ball game here. They got up to number 8 in the polls after being unranked to start the season. Always something tough to do. And Carlsbad, on the other hand, too. And we came in with questions as to whether or not they were the legitimate number 1 team. And which is silly in my mind now, looking back on it, for a team that hasn't lost in 22 tries. To question that, they've proved something here. Both these teams have.
3rd down and 6 now, and here's Russell from the shotgun for the first time ever. It's got to be Nick Russell's dream almost. He's used to handoff, handoff, handoff. He's going to take it from the shotgun. Oh, and it's his foot. And Russell still gets the ball away. A great recovery pass to Lokank, who's got it at the 24-yard line. Let me tell you, Nick Russell, what concentration. That ball short hopped his foot.
Now that's twice in a row where Russell has been hit as he's thrown the football. This one coming after a bobbled snap. As you mentioned, the first time out of the shotgun, that snap didn't look like they hadn't run the shotgun all night.
1st and 10 now. Clock runs with 2:15 to play. Another short hop snap. Russell grabs it, throws to the end zone. Hips got it. Touchdown. Cathedral Catholic has the touchdown. Wait a second. He's down at the 2. All right, just short. But Hip catches it on the mouth of the goal line.
Right, he was
a big
right
play.
there. He was right there and got pushed back to the 2-yard line. Very, very close play. But what another throw by Nick Russell.
He really slung it in there. Let's see if Russell wants to squeak it. No, he gives it to Gaffney. Gaffney cuts in. He finds the goal line. There's the touchdown for Cathedral Catholic. Gaffney's got it across the mouth. And now, with 1:58 to play, still time.
Absolutely, there's still
Dons
time.
are going to need to do an onside kick here, but they've got a chance.
Absolutely. This is a great effort here out of Cathedral Catholic to get into the end zone here. This extra point, if it's made, is going to make it a 3-point ball game. You have an onside kick possibility, a field goal here that could force a tie, that could even go in for another score. A lot can happen here in 2 minutes of football left.
Gaffney's second touchdown of the second half. The extra point is good. That's a huge extra point to make it a 3-point game, 27-24.
And remember the missed extra point for Carlsbad. Early on in this ball game, a missed extra point and a fumbled snap, and now it's only a 3-point game instead of a 4-point game. The Dons here, we said Nick Russell had to step up. He certainly did on that drive. And then, of course, they go back to the bread and butter of Gaffney punching this ball into the end zone. Nice job to dive through on the left side of the line, but it was Russell's play that set that up, going right down to the 2-yard line.
Made a big pass on a screen to Jacko on that drive.
That's right.
A huge pass to Hip. Came up with the ball off of his foot and threw it to Lokank. Tell you what, Nick Russell with a heck of a drive.
I mean, those were two low snaps out of the shotgun. Both were completed passes. He was hit as he was throwing. He sidearmed it to the near sideline. There was a lot going on in that drive that could have gone wrong for Nick Russell, and he was able to fight through it and get them down to the 2-yard line, eventually put them in the end zone for the score. A 3-point ball game right now, and Carlsbad's going to put their hands team out. They got Vandenkolk, Ewing, Searson. I see Pasquarella out there on that front line.
Here's the onside kick. It did not make it. Hey, wait, it was tipped by Carlsbad. Cathedral Catholic might have this ball. They do. The Dons got the ball. Oh, it didn't even make it 10 yards. There was no chance unless a Carlsbad player touched the ball. That's exactly what happened. The Lancers touch it, give it back. The Dons bouncing on their sidelines. Their fans are standing because they have a chance now.
Carlsbad touched the football before it went the 10 yards. That's a live ball for Cathedral Catholic. A mistake by the Carlsbad hands team. I don't think this ball was going to reach that 10-yard mark, but the Lancers tried to get it first. They touched it, and it went back to Cathedral Catholic. Timeout called by Carlsbad.
Well, a smart timeout to try and reset things here as the Lancers all of a sudden have had this game turned on its head. Hey, for those of you who have tuned in to see Variety Productions, which normally airs at this time, don't worry. You can tune in Saturday and Sunday at 8 o'clock on Channel 71. That's 8 o'clock Saturday and Sunday evening on Time Warner Cable, Channel 71. 1st and 10. What a reversal of fortune.
And we've said all along here how impressive Cathedral Catholic has been tonight. The fact that as the number 8 team having to go on the road, they took the lead close to the end of the first half. And now here at the end of the second half, they put together a pretty impressive 80-yard drive for that score, using Nick Russell, the quarterback, and then punching it in with Tyler Gaffney. This is a very impressive Cathedral performance against the number 1 team in San Diego.
Nick Russell was 5 of 8 on that last possession for Cathedral Catholic, Jack. And once again, he was 8 for 15 on the season coming into this game. So 1st and 10 now. 1:54 to play. Russell play fakes. Throws it. Almost intercepted. With a hand on it was Miller, Travis Miller, the senior. But it hit the turf.
Well, I thought for a moment the way Russell's been going, that was going to be a completed pass. I mean, he's been on fire here these last couple of drives. A nice play by Miller to break that pass up, get in front of his man, get in front of the wide receiver. And if he wasn't going to get it, Cathedral wasn't going to complete that pass.
Up tight in the wing T formation. Fake the handoff to Gaffney. Throw it over the middle, incomplete. That ball just a little bit behind the receiver, and that was Bobro.
Well, you're right about that. Russell had just behind Bobro, but still, I think, Craig, a pass you have to catch with 1:46 left in the game like this. It was behind him, no question, but he had a little bit of space in the seam.
3rd down and 10. A little confusion for the Lancers. They have to call timeout. Bob McAllister hustles over there. Their substitutions were way off.
Yep, they were trying to sub in personnel. They couldn't get it done before that ball was going to be snapped. You're absolutely right, Craig. They were trying to get guys on and off the field, trying to get a couple, because they were rushing hard on Russell the first 2 downs here this drive, and they're trying to sub in some guys in a dime-type package, and they weren't getting those guys on.
We talked about football as a boxing match, Jack. This has been a 12th round, and 2 heavyweights trading haymakers in the center of the ring, waiting for the bell to ring. Touchdown by the Dons on a gigantic 13-play drive. That after a Carlsbad touchdown run by Pasquarella. Carlsbad responds with an 11-play touchdown. Back come the Dons. They march down, convert a 4th down on a 12-play drive. Onside kick, and Cathedral Catholic back at it. But will they complete another pass?
Well, they have to do so right now. It's 3rd and 10. Nick Russell was so good on that last drive. Can he come through again here for the Dons with only 1:46 left?
A question. 3rd down, and you've got timeouts, 1:46. Do you get Gaffney the ball? You're not going to hand it to him. He's in motion. Straight back, Russell looking for Gaffney. Tipped at the line of scrimmage by Steven Simpson. Simpson was right there to knock it down. 4th down coming.
Oh, the big play by Simpson. 6'6", 240, got that 6'6" frame up there and batted that pass down. It's 4th and 10. Well, you were asking about Gaffney on 3rd and 10. You're certainly not going to do it on 4th and 10 here. It all comes down here to this play for Cathedral Catholic.
I guess I was first guessing from the press box. Thought you might be able to get a few yards there instead of having to go for 10 here. Now it is all down to this. 4th down. Gaffney in motion. Russell straight back. Blitz coming. Throws. He's got his man. Gaffney's got the first down and out of bounds at the Carlsbad 40-yard line.
And he steps out of bounds with 1:36 left to go, Craig. Heads up play. Gaffney running out of the backfield in motion to the far sideline. Up on the side, and Nick Russell finds him. First completion in 4 attempts on this drive, but it's good enough for a first down. As Gaffney takes it, he's pretty open over there on the sideline. And is able to get out of bounds to stop the clock with 1:36.
Fabian Serrano with the tackle. Russell, busted play. He's dropped. Simpson on the sack.
Boy, how big has Steven Simpson come up here on this drive for Carlsbad? Sack in the backfield for a loss of 2, and after the batted down pass in the first set of downs.
Just a loss of 1. But Steven Simpson still making a big momentum-changing play, and the clock is spinning here. Check that, and the sack stopped the clock with 1:30. And now the Dons with a chance to huddle. Here they go on 2nd down, and we'll call it 10 and a half. Gaffney behind Russell. They hand it to him. Gaffney with a little room across the 35 down to the 34-yard line, but now that clock's rolling.
I like that play call there. There's still 1:21 left here. All of a sudden, you're down inside the 40-yard line. Like that play call.
And they get right back to the line of scrimmage, which is the 34. Gaffney gets it again. This time he stopped at the line short of the first down. A huge 3rd down stop, bringing up 4th down and a timeout called by the Dons.
Well, I like the call on 2nd down. I'm not sure how much I enjoyed it on 3rd down there. But it sets up a 4th and 1 with only 1:05 left to go. Now, this is a makeable first down if you want to keep it on the ground here with Gaffney. There's still plenty of time left. You get a first down, that'll momentarily stop the clock as they move the chains. I think you go here on the ground with Gaffney, maybe even with Jackal, but I really like the ball in the hands of your junior playmaker and Tyler Gaffney. Give it with him, get the first down, and then if you're Cathedral Catholic, you can try and go for the end zone a couple of times with Nick Russell before you have to start making up that first down again.
They need to gain 2 yards. The ball at the 32. And it looks like right in front of the 30-yard line is the line to gain. So a short 2 here on 4th down.
About 1.5 yards here with a minute left to go in this ball game, deep in Carlsbad territory.
Lancers fans on their feet, exhorting the Big Purple defense to come through on a 4th down stop. Russell's going to sneak it. He turns his back to the goal, to the line. Did he get there? The Lancers say no. There's going to be a measurement coming. Don't celebrate just yet, Carlsbad. There's a measurement coming on this play. And where the ball is, it's real close.
Boy, that's a real close mark right there. That play has worked for Cathedral tonight, the quarterback sneak. In fact, it worked on a 4th down play near the goal line. But again, you got to get the ball to Tyler Gaffney in that situation.
It all comes down to this measurement. That might have been a go-with-me play. Let's see if... Yeah, right there, Jack. I tell you what, there was a little bit of space in front of that nose tackle, and it might have been a spot where if Russell saw it, he just hit the center and they went. It all is going to come down to this measurement here. They stretch the chains to measure. If they made the 30, they might be an inch short. Boy. I'll tell you what, here it comes. So close. They missed it. Lancers turn it over on downs. Carlsbad's unbeaten streak will continue. Barely.
Wow, and they hung on, Craig. They have escaped here. What an effort from the Cathedral Catholic Dons against the #1 team in San Diego tonight.
They converted on 4th down passes. They marched the ball improbably and converted an onside kick after a careless Lancer mistake on special teams, touching a ball that did not advance 10 yards. But now, pushed to the brink, the Lancers defense holds.
Boy, and if you're Carlsbad, you got things to work on. As impressive as they were on the offensive line and with Nick Pasquarella, they fumbled the football, and they didn't do too well on that onside kick attempt either. There's going to be some things to work on this week for Bob McAllister as they get ready for Rancho Bernardo next week.
Victory formation for the Carlsbad Lancers as Morales takes a knee. The Dons are powerless to stop the clock, and Nick Pasquarella, along with Wally So'oto, dancing around, getting the fans on the sideline fired up. Carlsbad was tested tonight, Jack.
Well, they certainly were. And this is a big test to pass in the number 8 team in the county coming into your facility. Now you're going on the road next week against the number 10 team in the county in Rancho Bernardo. It doesn't get any easier, and it hasn't been easy all season long for Carlsbad. They took a huge blow tonight, but they're still standing. And the streak now is going to go to 23 games, Craig.
Well, say this for the Lancers. Wait a second. Did that ball come out? What the Joe Pisarcik could be happening here? No. They're safe. Much ado about nothing. Nothing to see here. Move on. It's still Lancers ball, and the clock is rolling to 3 seconds, 2, and that's it. Say this for Carlsbad. They've taken on all comers. St. Augustine.
The winner in Division III last year.
Helix.
The runner-up in Division II last year.
And now Cathedral Catholic, and they come out on top in all 3 games. 3 close games. Tonight's final score, 27-24. 2 tired football teams shaking hands at center field.
Well, an impressive effort. I thought we had a great ball game here this evening. Great efforts on both sides here. And we'll go back to what we were saying late in the fourth quarter, how impressive we were with both teams. For Cathedral Catholic, it's playing up to your opponent and doing a great job on the road against the number 1 team, trying to break that 22-game streak. For Carlsbad, it's the fact that you didn't falter down the stretch. Yeah, you fumbled the ball. Yeah, you missed the onside kick, but you came away with the victory, and you got Nick Pasquarella back. He hadn't had a pretty big ball game until right now.
Quick timeout. We'll get an interview from the field when we come back live on Time Warner Cable Sports.
We all know someone who rides a bike. Maybe you bike too. Bicycles are vehicles and have all the same rights and responsibilities of other road users. Please share the road. Only pass a bicycle when it's safe to do so. Slow down and give 3 feet of space when passing. When turning, be sure to yield to bicycles as you would any vehicle. Never cut off bicyclists. When we all drive safely and are considerate of others, it's easy to share the road.
This message brought to you by the San Diego County Bicycle Coalition.
When Noah came to our YMCA childcare, he was 18 months old, and his mother had just died of cancer. Noah's dad is a salesman and is often on the road. Childcare from the Y is critical for Noah and his dad. We can't replace his mother, but at the Y, Noah gets the love and support he needs. Noah is special to us. His story is what the Y is all about.
In a recent hidden camera experiment, more than half the kids we played a prank on got in a car with an actor they thought was a drunk driver.
He's got shotgun.
Have you been drinking? Oh, I'm gonna die.
Why did you get in the car?
But some kids didn't.
No, actually, I don't think you should. You just turn off the engine.
It's really important. I have to go get something.
So is my job.
Okay, I'm going back.
What would you do? Make the right turn. Have a plan for getting home safe. Never get in a car with someone who seems drunk or high.
That's inside of the 30. He's gone.
What an incredible run.
For attention, please. For attention, please.
We're back live, Swede Kirschmar Field, campus of Carlsbad High School, and the top-ranked Lancers hold off Cathedral Catholic 27-24. Let's go down to Superman, the star of the game, standing by with Courtney Dwyer. We're going to go right back to that, as you could hear, a little short out on the microphone. And we're going to get right back to Nick Pasquarella, who carried tonight 30 times for over 200 yards and 4 touchdowns. 6 touchdowns in the playoff game to get to the finals at Qualcomm last year, and 4 touchdowns tonight, and they needed every one. Let's go back and see if the microphone's working. I'll tell you what, we're going to take a quick timeout, come back, try and get Nick's words on the air live on Time Warner Cable Sports.
There's a place where a total stranger will give their blood to save your life. A place where someone you never knew will save your child from drowning. Where someone will give you food and shelter after a flood. That place is called America. Where we look out for each other. When you help the American Red Cross, you help America.
Who's there?
Hi. I was told someone was going to come out here and fix my TV, like 2 hours ago.
What was his name?
I don't know his name. But he told me...
Peter? Andrei? Vasily? Sergey?
He said he'd be right here.
Would you mind if I put you on hold? I can have a look through.
At Time Warner Cable, you get on-time service guaranteed. Time Warner Cable, the power of you.
All right, back to wrap things up, and our apologies for some microphone wire difficulties down on the field. We didn't get to hear from Nick Pasquarella, but don't worry, his legs spoke plenty during the broadcast as he carried 30 times for...